Hello everyone and welcome to another afternoon of Lady Blazer basketball. Today we come to you from Valdosta, Georgia at the PE complex where the Lady Blazers of Valdosta State are playing host to the Lady Argonauts of West Florida. The Lady Blazers come in with a 17-8 record with a 6-7 mark in Gulf South Conference, while West Florida comes in with a 19-6 record and a 10-3 mark in Gulf South Conference. Alongside Mark Holloway, I am Brad Christian. We'll be back with the opening tip-off right after this.
Immerse yourself in another culture and another way of life. Experience everything life has to offer you. Embark on your own course of adventure as part of a summer study program in London, Paris, Italy, or Russia. Studying abroad is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The memories and friendships gained will be a life-changing experience. Savor the moments and culture. Discover the world around you. Be part of a summer study program in London, Paris, Italy, or Russia. For more information about summer study programs abroad, please contact the Center for International Programs at 333-7410.
Okay, we're back where the Valdosta State Lady Blazers are taking on the West Florida Lady Argonauts. Tip-off is about to get underway as the Lady Blazers just had a ceremony involving the seniors, the three seniors on the team. Here's the jump ball, and the Lady Blazers are going to come down with it. Should have a good game here today, Mark.
Yes.
Lady Blazers passing around, trying to get some movement going. It's a screen set by Danny Hernandez. Drive to the hoop, back out to Tracy Newton. Trying to get it inside, down to Candace Farrow, who's been battling a knee injury. Turnover by the Lady Blazers, and West Florida's gonna push it. Here's the jump shot by Erin Bierland, who is the leading scorer in the Gulf South Conference with 18 points a game, but she was a little off on that shot. The Lady Blazers push it, gonna try to get down low. Bad pass, and it's going to be out of bounds off Valdosta State, and West Florida will take over.
Early in the game, it looks like the Blazers have been trying to get it inside. Two unfortunate passes have cost the Lady Blazers 2 quick turnovers. But that's going to be essential for the Lady Blazers tonight to get it inside.
You're absolutely right, Mark. Here West Florida goes trying to get it inside. There goes the whistle. The basket is going to count. Count it for Kalia Henderson, who gets the basket and one, and she'll go to the free throw line to try to complete the three-point play. Foul was on guard Tracy Newton. That is her first foul. Kalia is averaging about 10 points a game. She started most every game this year for the Lady Argonauts. Very solid player for their team. Free throw is up, goes in and out, and rebound by Candace Farrell. She passes it to Tracy Newton, who pushes it up to Monica Lee, who drives to the hoop. Doing an awful lot of driving so far. There's the pass to Candace Farrell inside. The layup is good. 2-2 your score here early in the ball game, just a minute in. Nice basket there by the Lady Blazers. As I was saying, Erin Bierling, she is the star for the Lady Argonauts. There's a three-point attempt, no good by Michelle Gibson. Michelle is the leading three-point shooter, the second leading three-point shooter in the Gulf South Conference. There's a missed shot, and Danny Hernandez gets the rebound. Very sloppy game here to begin with a little bit here, Mark.
Yes, it looked like Clenita forced that one up, nowhere to go, just put up a prayer. Unfortunate for her.
Here's Tracy Newton trying to get something going. The kiss off the glass is no good, and Kalia Henderson comes down with it. The Lady Argonauts are pushing it. There's the aforementioned Erin Bierland. The rebound is good. The shot is no good, and the rebound's taken down. It's going to be an over-the-back foul on West Florida, and the Lady Blazers will take over. That was an over-the-back foul on Melissa Nafsker.
These Lady Argonauts are fierce, averaging 70 points a game almost. That's 10 points higher than the Blazers. Blazers going to have to find a way to slow them down.
Almost a traveling there by Tracy Newton. see we're trying to get it down low. Tipped away by West Florida. It's going to go out of bounds. Who's it going to go to? It's going to go to West Florida.
Nasker just read that, was there in time, poked it away.
The official said it went off of Monica Lee's hand, so the Lady Argonauts will take over. Still early in this game, 17:40 left to go. 2-2 is your score. The Lady Argonauts trying to swing it around, trying to get something going, but the Lady Blazers, known throughout the conference for their tough defense, are going to try to duplicate that effort tonight. Here's a three-point attempt by Michelle Gibson. She gets her own rebound, and it doesn't go either. Loose ball, and it's going to go to the Lady Blazers. Not a very good job of boxing out there by the Lady Blazers on that rebound.
Not at all, Brad. Michelle Gibson is 0 for 2 for 3 points tonight, but she is shooting 42% on the year. The Blazers can't leave her open, especially can't let her get her own rebound on a missed shot.
So here we go, Tiffany Van passing it down to Monica Lee. Inside to Amber Daniels. Off the backboard and no good. She tries to take it away, but it goes out of bounds off her hands, and possession will belong to West Florida.
Good fight for Amber Daniels, able to get open down there. Just a bad shot, but she'll get more of those. She'll make them later down in the game.
This is an important game for the Lady Blazers. As the ball goes out of bounds, it will be West Florida ball. As Courtney Parker comes into the game now, seeing her first action of the night. She comes in for Monica Lee. But as I was saying, very important game for the Lady Blazers. If they win and if West Georgia loses tonight, the Lady Blazers will get the 4th seed in the Gulf South Conference Tournament. And there's going to be a holding foul on Tiffany Van. She kind of slapped Veerling on the hand. And Veerling will take the ball out of bounds. But yeah, as I was saying, if the Lady Blazers win this game and if West Georgia loses tonight against Lincoln Memorial, the Lady Blazers will have the 4th seed. Shot is no good by Henderson, and Courtney Parker is going to come down with it. She passes it up to Tracy Newton. It's going to be an offensive foul on Amber Daniels. Amber's not too happy about that call.
Not at all. This game's also important, Brad. Going into the conference tournament, you don't want to go in with a loss. This is a good chance for the Blazers, 13-1 at home, to get another win. Lost 6 of their last 9 games. Definitely don't want to go into the tournament with a loss, as West Florida doesn't. They also lost their last game against West Alabama, division leader.
That's a very good point, Mark. If the Blazers were to lose this game, lots of physical activity going on underneath the goal, and that's going to be an offensive foul on the Lady Argonauts.
Way to take the charge by Danny Hernandez.
Bunch of elbows being swung under there. Gotta love that physical activity. So we got 16:20 left still, tied at 2 apiece. The pass comes into Amber Daniels. Danny Hernandez with the ball, back to Tracy Newton. Danny Hernandez, perhaps the best three-point shooter for the Lady Blazers. Expect to see her spotting up behind the arc quite a bit during this game. It's going to be a traveling call on Tracy Newton. And a mark so far in this game, lots of turnovers by both teams.
Lots of turnovers. 4 minutes in the game, still 2-2. As potent scores as West Florida are, you got to expect that's going to go up quick.
That's true. They are coming in averaging 70 points a game. And here goes a drive by the Lady Argonauts. That basket is good by Clonita Jones. That makes it 4-2 West Florida. Yes, West Florida's coming in averaging 70 points a game, but let's not forget that the Lady Blazers are a very good defensive team. So you're matching up a good offensive team against a good defensive team. You might see some low scoring because a lot of times defense is going to win. Drive to the hoop by Amber Daniels. Does not go in, but she gets her own offensive rebound, puts it back, and scores. Nice job of staying with it by Daniels.
That's what Hill wants to see. Coach Kylie Hill wants to establish an inside game early, maybe bringing in some extra defense to free up Danielle Hernandez, Tracy Newton on the outside to put in the 3.
As you were saying that, West Florida committed another turnover, so the Lady Blazers will take over. As the ball comes in to Tiffany Van. Courtney Parker out to try to set a screen. There's Danny Hernandez. Like as I was saying just a few minutes ago, expect her to shoot a bunch of threes, and chances are she's going to hit a few of them. There's Courtney Parker with the 18-foot jumper. It's good. Courtney Parker on the assist from Danny Hernandez gives the Lady Blazers a 6-4 lead. If Courtney Parker is hitting that jump shot, it could be a good night for the Lady Blazers.
Yes, that's a good sign, especially early. 2 games ago, Courtney Parker 0 for 11 up from the field. It's good to see her getting something here.
Great inside defense by Candace Farrell to knock the pass away from Erin Veerling. And the Lady Blazers have the ball again. Back to Farrell. Outside to Parker. The jumper is up. No good. Rebound by Casey Cloud. West Florida's going to push it. Now they're going to spot up with a 3. It's no good. Courtney Parker with the rebound. West Florida has attempted 3 three-point attempts and have been unsuccessful in all 3 attempts. But they do have the second leading three-point shooter in the Gulf South Conference. Jumper by the Lady Blazers is no good, and West Florida's pushing. Fast break, gonna be stolen by Danny Hernandez. Nice job of taking away the pass there by Danny Hernandez, the senior from Richmond Hill, Georgia. No foul on the call as Candace Farrell runs into Casey Cloud, and there's Michelle Gibson. 3 is up, it's no good, and the rebound comes out to Casey Cloud. We gotta stop, the Lady Blazers have got to stop that offensive rebound, and that's gonna be an offensive foul on the Lady Argonauts. So the Lady Blazers will take over.
Also in the Valdosta State, number 32, Amber Daniels.
As there's lots of substitutions coming in for both teams. 13:34 left to go in the first half. 6-4 is your score in favor of Valdosta State. Here's Tracy Newton, the captain, the point guard of this Lady Blazer team. Again, trying to get it inside. Loose ball. West Florida comes out of there with it. And Ching trying to get it to Erin Veerling, but a nice steal by Tracy Newton. Tracy Newton, who is averaging 2.5 steals a game, gets a steal on that possession.
Good steal, way to get back on defense and keep her eyes on the ball.
Pass, almost a walk there by Katie Steffen. Here's Candace Farrell. She's looking for a shot. She's driving. Nice spin move off the glass and in. Nice drive by Candace Farrell. And West Florida, after that bucket, is going to take a timeout to discuss things. Nice driving there by Candace Farrell, Mark.
Yes, Candace Farrell missed a couple games due to that sore knee. She's still wearing that knee brace, nursing it a little bit, but it's good to see her hitting up the boards early.
It is good to see that, Mark. As you said, she has the knee brace on her right knee, and she's been driving to the hoop on a couple of possessions this game so far.
Yes.
So we got 12:51 left to go here in the first half. 8-4 is your score. Watch the Blazer Sports Report every Thursday at 8 p.m. on Thursday and Friday at 10 p.m. on VSU-TV. And catch the latest news and insight on Blazer athletics.
It's a pretty good show there, Brad.
It is a very
Seen
good
it
show.
a few times.
So, Mark, we seem to have, Lady Blazers have seemed to have righted the ship a little bit after opening up a little bit sloppy with a few turnovers. So here come the Lady Argonauts of West Florida from Pensacola, Florida, down on the Gulf. Here's Ann Ching, the point guard, trying to get it to Michelle Gibson. Michelle Gibson has not been able to score yet, and neither has Erin Veerling. Good defense by Tracy Newton as she runs into the stands, trying to pick up her second steal of the game, but she deflects it out of bounds, and it will still remain West Florida possession. Erin Veerling trying to get something going. She too has not scored yet in this game.
Shot
clock's going down. You're right, Mark. Jumper is no good by Casey Cloud. Rebound by Courtney Parker. That's several rebounds so far by Parker in this game. Tracy Newton bringing the ball up. It's stolen by Michelle Gibson. She's going to lay it up for 2. 8-6 Valdosta State after the steal by Michelle Gibson.
Michelle Gibson's a very versatile player. You've seen she can shoot. Now you've seen she's quick. She can steal the ball. Easy layup.
West Florida coming with the press as Tracy Newton runs into her own teammate, Monica Lee. And they step out of bounds over there on the far side, and it will be West Florida ball.
Bad sequence of plays for the Blazers. They're going to have to slow it down a little bit, find their rhythm.
Well, they had to beat the press, Mark, and once they finally got across half court, there was just some confusion on the Lady Blazers' part and a little bit of running into there by the two Lady Blazer players. So here's Ann Ching. Tracy Newton almost with another steal. Michelle Gibson driving to the hole, knocked away by Courtney Parker, and is stolen by the Lady Blazers. Several steals so far in this game for Valdosta State. There's Danny Hernandez, who is scoreless so far in the game. Tracy Newton down to Danny Hernandez. No foul on the call as she puts up a shot. The official's gonna make a call. And it's gonna be against West Florida. The foul will be against Erin Veerland, who fouled Danny Hernandez.
Erin Verling, crazy on that defense, won't let Danny go. She knows that when Danielle Hernandez is hot, she is hot. She's not gun shy at all. She'll shoot with 2 defenders on her if she wants.
Tracy Newton over to Courtney Parker. Lady Argonauts playing some tough man-to-man defense. Shot clock is at 10. Lady Blazers trying to get something going. The shot clock is at 5. Here goes Amber Daniels. The jumper's up, no good, off the rim, and the Lady Argonauts come down with it. They're pushing it out to Michelle Gibson, the three-point specialist for the Lady Argonauts. Cannot leave her open or she will fire it up, and she's hitting her three-pointers at a 42% clip on the season. It's gonna be a foul on Valdosta State, and head coach Kylie Hill not too impressed with that call.
Unlucky foul.
The foul goes against Amber Daniels. That is her second foul. So with 10 minutes and 37 seconds to go in the first half, Daniels already has 2 fouls, and she will have to take a seat on the bench.
We've talked about the Blazers trying to find an inside game. It looks like West Florida is also trying to do that. Just can't really seem to get it in. Some of their taller players are out on the perimeter, not really knowing where to go with the ball.
Here's Casey Cloud trying to get it inbounds to Erin Veerling. Turnover by the Lady Argonauts as the Lady Blazers come up with another steal on the bad pass by West Florida.
Tiffany Van's got some fancy dribbling, as you'll see throughout this game.
Inside to Candace Farrell, who pitches it back out to Parker, who throws to Hernandez, back over to Van.
Dangerous pass.
Inside to Parker. Turnaround jumper is no good. Rebound by Amber Daniels. Again, no good. Parker fighting for the rebound, but West Florida comes down with it. Got a fast break going. There's Casey Cloud. Knocked away. Loose ball. West Florida is going to come up with it. Michelle Gibson, who passes it inside to Kalila Henderson. It's going to be a shooting foul on the Lady Blazers, and West Florida will go to the line to shoot 2.
Candace Farrell tried to take the charge there, just couldn't get set in time. So the Lady Argonauts will go to the line.
Going to the line will be number 22, Kalia Henderson.
0 for 2 or 0 for 1 at the line today. 500 or 50% shooter there.
She hits the first one to cut the deficit to 8-7. Kalia averaging 9.5 points per game on this season. Very strong presence for the West Florida team this season.
Monica Lee checked in the game for Danielle Marshall.
Free throw is up. Hits the front of the rim. Rebound by West Florida. There's Michelle Gibson. The three-pointer is up, and it is good. Three-pointer by Michelle Gibson, her first of the night, and that gives West Florida a 10-8 lead.
Melissa Nafsker has been sitting for a lot of the game, but she is the Lady Argonauts' leading rebounder, as you saw her rebound the missed free throw attempt there.
Lots of contact down there with Candace Farrell, and she steps on the sideline. So it's going to be a turnover for West Florida.
Timeout on the floor, timeout media. That's a full timeout.
So we're having a timeout right now with 9:25 left to go in the first half. West Florida leads by the score of 10-8. We'll be right back. You're watching VSU-TV.
Valdosta State University, the pathway to success.
I love VSU because from the moment I came here, it's just been like a second home.
This place was just like home for me, and I love it. I'll always love it.
Just above the Florida border, VSU is a second home for students from all over Georgia, 47 states, and 58 countries. A quality university degree, a unique second home, a great location. Valdosta State University, your pathway to success.
West Florida leads Valdosta State 10-8, and they have possession. Steal by the Lady Blazers almost. Who's it going to be out on? It's going to be out on West Florida. Valdosta State possession. Good job of pressing there by the Lady Blazers.
Yes, Brad. Tracy Newton was all over the place right there. Tipped the ball. Tiffany Van was just able to get her fingers on it also. Knocked it over out of bounds for the Blazers. Candace Farrell right now is the Lady Blazers' leading scorer with 4 points.
Inside, down low for Valdosta State. No good by Candace Farrell. And West Florida comes out with the ball. Aaron Veerling, the leading scorer for the Lady Argonauts, has not scored yet. Michelle Gibson with another three-point attempt. The putback on the offensive rebound by Kalia Henderson is good, and that gives West Florida a 12-8 lead. Again, lots of offensive rebounds tonight for West Florida. Gonna have to cut down on allowing those offensive rebounds. Shot attempt is partially blocked, but the referee said that she was blocked on the hand, so the Lady Blazers will go to the foul line to shoot two. That foul was on Michelle Gibson. Monica Lee will go to the free throw line to shoot two.
Monica Lee, a 78% free throw shooter. That's pretty good average there.
It's a real good average. First one is up and good, and that cuts the deficit to 3 at 12-9. Lee gets ready for her second attempt. Goes through her routine. The high arcing free throw is no good. And West Florida comes out with it.
Rare miss by Monica Lee.
One thing I've noticed so far, West Florida, they're a real quick team. Good defense by the Lady Blazers as they pick up another steal. Danielle Hernandez knocking away the pass. As Tiffany Van brings out the ball. Danny Hernandez, who has yet to attempt a three-point attempt in this game so far, being held in check by Veerling and the rest of the West Florida Argonauts. Three-pointer is good by number 12, Tracy Newton, and that ties the game up at 12 apiece. Again, West Florida pushing it, and it's going to be a double dribble on Michelle Gibson, and that will give the ball to Valdosta State.
Tracy Newton also not shy, shooting the three. Not as many attempts as Danielle Hernandez this year, but shooting the same percent, 34. Not bad at all.
So after the turnover, Valdosta State has possession. Again, pressing done by West Florida, but Valdosta State gets across the half-court line.
Looks like West Florida has their height in right now.
Tiffany Van with the crossover. Bad pass, but Tracy Newton is able to go out and fetch it. Drive to the hoop by the Lady Blazers. The bucket is up and good. Danielle Marshall, the senior, gets a bucket, and that gives the Lady Blazers a 14-12 lead. West Florida, as the point guard, Clenita Jones, calls out the play. Again, there she is, Erin Veerling. The jumper is no good. Rebound by Tracy Newton. Erin Veerling being held in check by the Lady Blazers.
It was good to see Danielle Marshall last time down court to get
Tracy Newton with her second consecutive three, and that gives the Lady Blazers their biggest lead of the ball game at 5, 17-12.
Like I was saying before, Danielle Marshall only averaging 1.1 points a game. That's good to see her getting in there on senior day, senior transfer from junior college.
It's also good to see Tracy Newton coming down to hit 2 consecutive three-pointers. If she's hitting that shot, Valdosta State should be in control of this game. The Lady Argonauts trying to inbounds the pass, just barely beat the 5-second violation. As they swing it around, trying to get it down low. It's going to be an offensive foul on West Florida.
Like, Kalia Henderson just had her hands all over the Valdosta State defense, just pushing away, trying to get inside positioning.
I believe that's the third offensive foul that's being called in this game, so the officials are not shy about calling that during this game. Jumper is no good by Amber Daniels. Rebound, West Florida.
Amber Daniels a little strong. Maybe needs to lay off the gym a little bit.
Kalina Jones, the three-pointer, in and out. Again, offensive rebound by the Lady Argonauts. The bucket is good by Melissa Nafsker.
Nafsker is their leading rebounder, 10 rebounds a game. Already 2 crucial rebounds today.
10 rebounds a game in this conference, very impressive. And Kylie Hill wants to take a timeout. It's going to be a 20-second timeout so he can talk about things. Tune your radio station to 90.9 FM every Thursday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. and hear the X's and O's show, Jock Talk Without the Itch, Valdosta's only sports and rock radio program, found only on V91, the voice of Valdosta State.
Brad, up by 3, 5 minutes left. What do you think Kylie Hill's telling his girls?
I think Kylie Hill's just trying to calm his girls down. You know, they've gotten a little excited, taking the lead by 5 just a minute ago. And West Florida has thrown the press at them a good bit coming out of bounds. So I think he's just trying to settle his girls down and regroup and keep control of this ball game. Because right now, you know, Valdosta State has a 3-point lead, so they appear to be in good shape.
On the other side, what do you think West Florida's coach had in mind for her girls?
Well, he's trying to tell them that got to cut down the turnovers. They have turned the ball over way too many times. Lady Blazers trying to get it in, and Danny Hernandez throws in Andrew Daniels. Courtney Parker now has the ball out behind the three-point line. Lots of movement going on by the Lady Blazers. There's Danny Hernandez. The three-pointer is just a little bit off, and rebound by Kalia Henderson. The Lady Argonauts pushing the ball. Spin move by West Florida, but it's going to go out of bounds to Valdosta State. Nice spin move.
Shanice Forshea with the spin move, traveled a little bit on it.
Here's that press again that we have been talking about. Candace Farrell just going to dribble it past half court. If no one else wants to do it, she'll do it. Nice pass to Tracy Newton. The bucket is good and one. Nice pass from Candace Farrell to Tracy Newton for the nice layup with the foul. And she will shoot a free throw to try to make it a three-point play. That makes the score 19-14, Valdosta State, as Newton will attempt the free throw to make it a 6-point lead for the Lady Blazers.
Newton with 8 points today. She's an 83% free throw shooter. Misses there, rare miss.
Here comes West Florida. West Florida, very talented team, 19-6 overall, 10-3 in the Gulf South Conference. Drive to the hoop by Clanita Jones. Offensive foul on Jones, I believe. The bucket's gonna count as the referees are discussing it. I saw one official they're gonna change it to a blocking foul on Valdosta State. One official called charge, but after talking about it, they ruled it a blocking foul on the Lady Blazers. So the bucket will count after the blocking foul by Danny Hernandez. So here's a chance by Clanita Jones to make it a three-point play, and she does. So a three-point swing there. Instead of having a charge, it was ruled a blocking foul by Lady Blazers, and that cuts the deficit to 2.
Clanita picks up her 5th point of the game.
You can see the intensity has picked up here in the last 5 minutes or so of this half. Courtney Parker trying to get it down low to Candace Farrell. It's no good. Rebound by the Lady Blazers. Up, no good. But the Lady Blazers come out of there with it. had a couple of shots at easy baskets, but Tracy Newton's going to shoot a jumper, and it's good. 21-17, Valdosta State.
10 points for Newton. Newton's on fire right now. It's not that the Lady Blazers can't get it inside, it's just they cannot put it in the bucket.
21-17, Valdosta State. 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first half. Drive by Clenita Jones. The jumper is up. It's no good. Gonna be a foul on Valdosta State. And Clenita Jones will shoot 2 at the charity stripe.
Candace Farrell trying to get there in time, trying to pick up the charge for her team. A little slow, not able to set her feet.
That's Candace Farrell's second foul.
She'll shoot 2 shots.
As Clenita Jones will go to the foul line. Clenita shooting about 69% on the game, or excuse me, on the season. As Candace Farrell takes a seat, along with Monica Lee. Chandria Moore is now in the ball game, seeing her first action.
Clenita Jones, 7 points of her team's 19 right now.
And with those 2 free throws, the score is now 21-19, Valdosta State. Good man-to-man defense by Clenita Jones. Steal knocked away and stolen by West Florida. They're pushing it. Erin Veerling, a little bit of a push off. Clenita Jones, I should say. She seems to be the leader of this team. The girl in charge. Pump fake, shot is up and no good. Loose ball, and Valdosta State comes away with it.
Shanice Forche had a good look there, just unable to convert.
Pass to Chandria Moore. Here's Tracy Newton, who has 10 points on the game. Going to try to make it 12. Basket is no good. Loose ball. Newton comes up with it. Out to Danny Hernandez. The three-point attempt is up and good. Three-pointer by Danny Hernandez makes it a 24-19 Valdosta State lead.
West Florida better watch out. We seen earlier Tracy Newton 2 for 2 at 3. Danny Hernandez, you better not let both of them girls get hot because they will light it up.
There's Michelle Gibson. We cannot let her get hot because she is a three-point specialist. Nice driving dish to Kalia Henderson on the pass from Janice Forshee. Makes it a 3-point lead for Valdosta State. As the Lady Blazers get past half court, Chandria Moore has to wait for the rest of her team to get past half court as well. 2:25 left to go in the first half. The Lady Blazers clinging to a 3-point lead.
Chandria Moore from Pensacola, Florida, elected not to go to West Florida here at Valdosta State.
Gonna be a foul, a reach in on the Lady Argonauts. The Lady Blazers will go to the charity stripe as they are now in the bonus. That was Shanice Forche on the foul. 17 foul for the Lady Argonauts, and Danny Hernandez will go to the foul line to shoot a 1-and-1. Danny Hernandez averaging 10 points a game.
The best free throw shooter for the Blazers, 86%. That's unbelievable.
She hits the front end of the 1-and-1, so she will get the second attempt. Gives the Lady Blazers a 4-point lead. Been a real tight ball game. The biggest lead the Lady Blazers have had is 5. And West Florida led momentarily by a deuce. Second free throw is up and good by Hernandez, and that gives the Lady Blazers a 5-point lead.
5 points for Danielle Hernandez.
These two teams have played earlier this season. They played down in Pensacola with West Florida with a dominating 80-55 victory.
It's a big win, Brad, 25 points.
Veerling, the shot attempt is short, has not been able to find her range so far in this game. Tracy Newton pushing it. Now she's going to kick it back out to Danny Hernandez. Back inside to Amber Daniels. Hernandez on the cut. Going to be a shooting foul on the Lady Argonauts, and Danny Hernandez will go back to the foul line.
Good decision by Tracy Newton, Brad. She had it down court, decided to pull back, 1:41 left on the clock, waste a little clock, bring a lead in at halftime.
Shanice Forshee with her second foul of the game, and Danny Hernandez hits the foul shot. gives the Lady Blazers a 27-21 lead.
86% free throw shooting, just climbing up right now, 3 in a row. That's a stroke right there, Brad.
And here's the second attempt. It's up, in and out. You jinxed her, Mark.
I jinxed her. I'm sorry, Danielle.
Lady Blazers still have a 6-point lead, getting late in the first half. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. It's been some strong defense on the perimeter by the Lady Blazers. It's going to be a traveling violation on Kalia Henderson.
Kalia had her defender beat, had to travel to do it, but not what she wanted right there. Not at all.
So the Lady Blazers get the ball back, trying to build on their 6-point lead. Lots of screens being set underneath the goal by the Lady Blazers. Here goes the pass to Amber Daniels. Blocked by Kalia Henderson. Nice block by Henderson. Tracy Newton with an air ball on the 3-point attempt, but there was a foul underneath the basket, and it's going to be a pushing foul against West Florida, so Amber Daniels will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Kylie Hill looking on patiently. Minute 03 left in the game. His Blazers up by 6. Good news for him.
Amber Daniels goes to the line. She's shooting 61% on the season. First free throw attempt is up and good.
I'm going to try not to jinx these Blazers while they're at the free throw line, Brad, but they have some incredible numbers here at the line.
Yeah, free throws. This game could come down to free throws. Whichever team hits most of their free throws, I feel like will be in charge of this game. Daniels with the second attempt. It's up, and it spins around and falls out. Erin Veerling comes down with the rebound. We're now under 1 minute to go in the first half. Valdosta State leads 28-21. In a very intense game so far, as 2 playoff teams are battling here in Valdosta, Georgia. Lots of passing by West Florida, and there's Michelle Gibson, her second 3-pointer of the game, cuts the lead down to 4.
You don't want Gibson to shoot, not at all.
Again, the press by West Florida. Knocked away by Gibson. Ball goes out of bounds. Nice hustle by Gibson.
If Gibson's guarding you, you better watch out. She's a quick one. She stole the ball earlier for an easy layup, almost repeated herself there. Gibson with 8 points on the day.
Valdosta State retains possession as the pass comes into Courtney Parker. Shot clock's at 15, game clock's at 18. It's about a 4-second difference between the 2 clocks. Drive to the hoop by Monica Lee. She is cut off. Out to Danny Hernandez, who was open for a second. Shot clock's at 1. The shot is up. It's going to be short. It's going to be a shot clock violation on the Lady Blazers.
Danielle did not want to shoot that.
3.6 seconds left to go in the first half. West Florida will get a chance to try to cut this 4-point deficit in half, or perhaps cut it down to 1.
Big story for West Florida. Erin Verling not getting in on the scoring right now.
Here's the 3-point attempt. No good by Clonita Jones. So that's the end of the first half. Been a very exciting game between the Valdosta State Lady Blazers and the West Florida Lady Argonauts. We're going to take a break right now, and we'll come back after this with your exciting second half.
Get a job.
Look, it's a giraffe.
I don't see it.
The less art kids get, the more it shows. Are yours getting enough? Art. Ask for more. AmericansForTheArts.org.
Like a plague, poverty infects half the world's people. It's a ruthless killer, striking innocent children and their families. But there is a cure, and it's in your hands. Through CARE, you can help communities permanently recover from poverty, because CARE targets the source of the problem, not just the symptoms. That's a cure that can last a lifetime. CARE, where the end of poverty begins.
Valdosta State University, Georgia's regional partner, in tune with the technological age.
State-of-the-art computer labs as well as online learning experiences ensure Valdosta State students earn a high-tech education. From distance learning to on-site instruction, the VSU campus is connected to tomorrow, offering a premier educational experience that can't be matched. Valdosta State University is Georgia's regional partner.
We're back to begin the second half action with Valdosta State leading 28-24 over West Florida. Mark, so far in this game, been back and forth a little bit with Valdosta State taking control in the second half of the first half. What are your thoughts on the game so far?
Valdosta State's doing a good job getting it inside. Not great shooting inside, but at least they found their inside game. A bit sloppy in the first half for both teams. 26 turnovers overall in the first half.
One thing that sticks out to me, and I believe it sticks out to you too, is the jumper is good by Michelle Gibson. Cuts the lead 28-26. We were talking about this at halftime. Erin Veerling, the leading scorer for West Florida, has an 0 for tonight. She's 0 for 4 from field goal. On field goal attempts, means she has 0 points on the game. Comes in averaging 18 points a game.
I think if West Florida wants to win this game, they definitely need to get her more involved. She's on the court right now with the ball.
There she is. She passes it inside, but stolen by Amber Daniels.
The leading scorer usually takes that shot. Maybe she's not feeling comfortable right now.
Yeah, her confidence might be a little bit off after scoring 0 points in the first half. Valdosta State with a 28-26 lead, still early in the second half. Amber Daniels, nice move inside. The layup is up and good.
Good job, Melissa Nafsker. Maybe a little timid on the defense, playing with 3 fouls right now. Definitely does not want to pick up her 4th foul. 18 minutes left in the second half.
Ball goes down low. The basket is up and good by Kalia Henderson. And she will go to the line to shoot a free throw after the foul.
Basket by Henderson. Foul is score number 20.
Foul goes against Danny Hernandez, her second foul.
Team foul number 1.
Kalia Henderson, 9 points on the game right now.
The free throw is up and around, and no good. Rebound, Candace Farrell. The Lady Argonauts still playing that tight man-to-man defense. Again, we're trying to get something established down low. Candace Farrell, the ball's knocked away. Back out to Amber Daniels. The ball's knocked away again. Good defense by the Lady Argonauts. Again, trying to get it in bounds. And as she jumps out of bounds, Candace Farrell calls a timeout. It's going to be a 30-second timeout for Valdosta State. Mark, so far in this second half, Valdosta State looks a little bit rattled. Maybe it's because West Florida has stepped up the intensity.
West Florida has stepped up the intensity, coming out here, almost getting that 3-point play. Valdosta State just needs to relax a little bit, get the inside game. Once they get that a little more established, the outside game will open up. 75% shooting from 3-point in the first half. That's not too shabby at all.
Not at all. It's quite different from the game that these two teams had down in Pensacola about a month ago. West Florida just totally dominated both aspects of the game. They put up 80 points on the Lady Blazers and held the Lady Blazers to 55 for a 25-point victory. The ball is passed inbounds. Candace Farrell to the hoop and scores.
Looked like Danny Hernandez just got mugged underneath. I don't know how she got the ball off for the pass.
In any event, that bucket gives the Lady Blazers a 4-point lead at 32-28. Gonna be a shooting foul against the Lady Blazers as the Lady Argonauts pounded it inside. Kalia Henderson will go to the line to shoot free throws.
The ref's a lot closer than I am, but from here it looked like Amber Daniels might have had a clean block right there.
And with that foul, Amber Daniels now has 3 fouls, so that could be a factor as this game comes down the stretch. The first free throw attempt is up and good, and that cuts the deficit to 3 points.
Kalia with 10 points on the day after that free throw. Helping her struggling Erin Verling out a little bit.
Second attempt, in and out. Danny Hernandez comes away with the rebound. Tiffany Van bringing it up across the court. Out to Candace Farrell. Tracy Newton, who's been hot today, drives, pitches back outside to Monica Lee. Nothing there. Out to Danny Hernandez for 3. In and out. And West Florida comes away with it. Clonita Jones, the point guard, driving to the hoop. Stolen by Tiffany Van. She's going to push it. She's going to spot up, and she decides to hold it back. She had numbers for just a second, but probably a smart decision to hold that ball out.
I see a lot of a home crowd here for Danny Hernandez, graduate of Savannah Country Day School, won a state championship her senior year. The Hornets are here again this year playing for that state championship. They'll play later today.
Going to be a foul away from the ball on Valdosta State. It's going to go against Candace Farrell, and she too has 3 fouls. So a little bit of foul trouble on the Lady Blazers with both Candace Farrell and Amber Daniels with 3 fouls. Lady Argonauts bring the ball in. Valdosta State with a 32-29 lead with 17 minutes to go in the second half. There's Aaron Fearling, and it's blocked.
That wasn't blocked. That was swatted, Brad.
Nice block, or swat, as you said, by the Lady Blazers. And it's going to be a foul on Danny Hernandez, and she too has 3 fouls. The Lady Blazers are going to have some serious problems, and Kylie Hill knows it. Lady Argonauts get the ball in bounds. There's Michelle Gibson. Spots up for 3. It's good. 3-pointer is good by Michelle Gibson. Her 3rd 3-pointer of the night. And don't look now, my friends, but this ball game is tied at 32 apiece.
Coach Wilkie for West Florida looks like he's put in his height.
Danny Hernandez on the wing. Out to Tracy Newton. Tracy slings it over to Tiffany Van. Trying to get an open shot. Here's Newton driving to the hole. Ball is knocked out of bounds. It goes off the knee of Kalila Henderson, and it will remain Valdosta State ball.
A bit lucky for Valdosta State right there. It looked like Tracy Newton just kicked it out of bounds. But they'll take it.
They most certainly will. Valdosta State brings it in. Out to Danny Hernandez for 3, in and out. Tough break for Hernandez, and that one rimmed out. And West Florida coming down with a chance to take the lead. There's Michelle Gibson. Up, no good. Rebound, Tracy Newton. Michelle Gibson had an open look, but she missed it. Gibson, of course, had been a Gulf South Conference Player of the Week 2 out of the past 3 weeks, so she has definitely been hot for the Lady Argonauts.
You can see she's not gun shy. Just going down there, shooting quick, not letting any shot clock run out at all.
Inside to Danny Hernandez. The basket is up and good, and count the basket with the foul.
Gutsy pass by Tiffany Van. I don't know how Danielle Hernandez saw that, but just picked it up, put it in, got fouled on the way. She'll head to the line.
Danny Hernandez catching the nice bounce pass, putting it up off the glass, and scoring with the foul.
That's 8 points for Hernandez.
The foul was on Michelle Gibson. That is her 2nd. Danny goes to try to complete the 3-point play, and she does.
I wasn't going to jinx her there. I thought about it for a second, but I thought, nah.
And Valdosta State is going to take a timeout. Every Sunday night from 9 until midnight, join host Skip Gildersleeve on 90.9 FM. Journey to the past as he plays 30 years of college radio classics on Lest We Forget. Call 333-5661 for your request. So, Mark, after West Florida battled back to tie the game at 32 apiece, the Lady Blazers come down and get the 3-point play by Danny Hernandez.
That was a much-needed play by the Lady Blazers. They don't want to fall behind at home.
You know, before that bucket by the Lady Blazers, you got the feeling that the Lady Argonauts were just taking control of the game from the Lady Blazers. But with that bucket by Hernandez, perhaps momentum has swung back to Valdosta State.
It looks like Valdosta State has the momentum right now. You have to suspect that West Florida will light it up a little bit. They are averaging 70 points a game, well off their mark right now at only 32 points, 15 minutes left in the game.
One thing I noticed on the scoreboard right now is Valdosta State already has 4 team fouls with just over 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes have already expired here in the second half, and VSU already has 4 team fouls. So 3 more fouls, and West Florida will be in the bonus. That could become a factor as the game wears on. So we're back into action. So Lady Argonauts bring the ball up the court, and Ching, the point guard. She's played a lot of minutes tonight for the Lady Argonauts. They swing the ball around. Good passing by the Lady Argonauts, trying to get something going. Valdosta State playing very tight defense. They try to get inbounds to Kalila Henderson. She puts it off the glass and scores with the foul. Nice pass down inside to Henderson, who gets the bucket and one.
This game is very physical underneath. It just seems like every time they go up, they're getting fouled for the three-point opportunity. Three the old-fashioned way. It's 11 points for Henderson on the day.
Henderson will try to get her 12th point of the game by knocking down this free throw attempt, which will also tie the game again at 35 apiece if she is able to make it. Free throw attempt, high arcing is good. 35-35 is your score. 15 minutes and 25 seconds left to go in the second half.
Ball's knocked out by Nafsker, long arms, just tipped it away from Courtney Parker.
It'll be interesting to see how tight Nafsker plays. I do believe she has 3 fouls, so she can't, play the tight defense that perhaps she would play earlier in the game with very little fouls. Here's Tiffany Van. Gonna get it to the playmaker, Tracy Newton. Newton, the jumper, no good. Rebound by Henderson.
Valdosta State might want to take a chance at Nafsker, go at her, see if she can maybe pick up her 4th foul, get in some trouble, maybe go sit down for some minutes.
Inside to Henderson, wide open, easy deuce. And West Florida has their first lead here in the second half with a 37-35 score.
Didn't look like Coach Hill was too happy on that last possession for West Florida. Looked like a player just snuck in behind the defense.
Tracy Newton with the 3-point attempt. Loose ball on the floor. And gonna be a timeout, West Florida, as they get the 30-second timeout. Looked like it very easily could have been a jump ball, Mark.
Danny Hefner just got on the floor and ripped it away. I don't think anybody was getting the ball away from her on that one.
On that last possession by West Florida, a little bit of a breakdown by Valdosta State's defense as Henderson was able to get a wide open layup.
Kalia Henderson with 14 points just snuck in behind the defense. Nobody saw her.
So with Henderson being a force in the middle, she has put the team on her shoulders, I guess you could say, because the leading scorer, Erin Veerling, is still scoreless.
Definitely, Erin Veerling hasn't been much of a factor in this game. As she heads to the bench right now, Michelle Gibson and Henderson have been stepping up to get those points.
14:30 left to go in the second half. West Florida just took their first lead of the second half, and they now have a 2-point lead, and they have possession as well. So here comes West Florida, and Ching with the ball, being guarded closely by Tiffany Van.
And Ching all the way from Canada. This West Florida team from all over the country, including Canada.
Yes, they have 2 players from Canada on their team.
One from Kansas, one from Kansas City, Missouri.
A well-diversified team for West Florida. Drive to the hoop, pitch out to Henderson, jumper is good. And West Florida has built a 4-point lead, 39-35.
16 points for Henderson, well over her high.
As West Florida
average
has outscored the Lady Blazers 15-7 here in the second half. Tracy Newton down inside to Amber Daniels. She shoots up, no good, but it's going to be a foul on West Florida. So Amber Daniels will go to the line to shoot 2.
Danny Hefner called on the foul. Lucky there because it looked like Melissa Nafsker was also in on the action.
Amber Daniels averaging about 6-7 points a game. First free throw is up and good. It's a good job of drawing the foul there by Daniels, especially with her having 3 fouls.
Looks like Daniels is at her average right now with 6 points, going for her 7th on this next free throw.
So here's a second free throw. to cut the deficit down to 2. Rims out, and West Florida takes possession. Loose ball, but West Florida comes out with it.
Tracy Newton hitting the deck trying to get that loose ball. She's been
out
everywhere
to
today.
Clenita Jones. Over to Michelle Gibson. The 3 is up and no good. Good box out by Amber Daniels as she throws a few elbows. Getting physical here, Mark. Getting physical.
Hate to be underneath those elbows. They were flying.
Tiffany Van being guarded closely by Clenita Jones. Over to Amber Daniels, who's out on the perimeter. Inside to Candace Farrell. Oh!
And Ching called on the blocking foul. Tried to step up right there. Candace Farrell lays her out.
Candace Farrell took a nice hit on that. Ann Ching definitely earned her foul on that possession. Inside to Candace Farrell, up and good. Nice entry pass from Tracy Newton. And that bucket by Farrell cuts the lead back down to 1.
Candace Farrell has been there for her team, getting in there inside. Every time they need her, she's provided for her team.
The drive to the hoop by Clenita Jones, knocked away by Valdosta State.
There she was
down
again,
goes
Candace
Monica
Farrell.
Lee. Pass. Bucket is good by Candace Farrell, and that gives Valdosta State a 1-point lead. A 6-0 run, a 5-0 run by Valdosta State. Drive to the hoop, up, no good, rebound Candace Farrell.
I saw the look of Erin Verling's face on that last possession. She had the ball, had to pass it up, looked a bit frustrated.
Well, it has to be frustrating for her when she comes in averaging a little over 18 points a game, and so far she has got a goose egg next to her name. Tracy Newton. Inside to Amber Daniels. Up, no good, lots of contact. Everyone's on the floor. Now they call a jump ball, and it will be Valdosta State possession. Lots of activity, lots of physicality. Very intense game being played by both teams.
See bodies flying, elbows swinging.
And for West Florida, number 00.
I wouldn't want to be in there right now.
Valdosta State retains possession after the jump ball. Out to Tracy Newton, who's been the playmaker today for the Lady Blazers. Nice entry pass to Candace Farrell, up and good. Valdosta State takes a 3-point lead at 42-39.
Great assist by Tracy Newton. Way to look up, see Candace Farrell inside, giving Candace 10 points on the day.
It appears that Newton and Farrell have found something in West Florida's defense because they have got a couple easy deuces the last couple of sessions. Speaking of easy deuces, there's one by Kalia Henderson.
Looked like the same exact play, opposite sides of the court.
Again, Henderson having her way with the Valdosta State defense.
18 points for Henderson on the day.
Nice defense by the Lady Argonauts.
Blazers seemed a bit confused on that.
Inside to Candace Farrell. Gonna be a shooting foul. Again, good pass from Tracy Newton to Candace Farrell. And with the foul, Candace Farrell will go to the line. Candace Farrell's been very active even with that sore knee.
Candace Farrell got mugged right there, Brad. She'll head to the line with 10 points on the day.
Candace Farrell to the line for the Lady Blazers.
61% free throw shooter. She'll try to improve on those numbers right now.
That last foul was on number 22, Kalia Henderson, and that was her 3rd foul, so watch out. That could come into play as this game winds down. We still have 11 minutes to go.
Farrell's no stranger to this free throw charity stripe line. She's been there over 115 times this year. That's well more than any other Blazer.
Her first free throw attempt is no good, and her second attempt is forthcoming. She'll try to give the Lady Blazers a 2-point lead. Free throw is up and good. 43-41 Valdosta State. It's been a seesaw game here in the second half with West Florida taking command. And now Valdosta State has taken command. Back and forth we go. Erin Veerling with the ball. Still scoreless in this game. Oh, nice almost steal by Tracy Newton, and they're going to call a foul.
Tracy Newton looks a bit hurt. Just throwing her body everywhere, trying to help out her Lady Blazers.
That's Newton's second foul. Tracy Newton playing an outstanding game, both on offense and defense. Made some excellent passes on offense and has made some outstanding steals on defense. Clonita Jones being guarded by Tiffany Van. Jones, the cross-court pass to Gibson on the screen. There's Casey Cloud out on the perimeter. Jones driving. She's stopped by Van, and they have to dish it back out. Back to Jones. Shot clock's at 7. Out to Veerling. Stolen by Valdosta State. So the Lady Blazers push it. Here's Candace Farrell. The pass to Tracy Newton. No good. Great play, just not executed by the Lady Blazers. And West Florida comes out with it. Inside to Veerling. Veerling trying to get something going. Back out to Jones. The high arcing three is no good. Rebound, Erin Veerling, and there is her first bucket of the game, and what do you know, it comes on an offensive rebound.
Erin Veerling, leading scorer of these Argonauts, finally puts it in with 9:46 left in the game. Newton for the Blazers, scoreless this half. It's important for them to get her involved.
With that bucket by Veerling, the score is knotted up at 43 apiece. Drive to the hoop by Amber Daniels. Lots of contact. It's going to be a foul on West Florida.
Courtney Parker looked like she was going to check back into the game, sits back on the bench.
That foul goes on Casey Cloud. That is her first foul of the game. Amber Daniels will go to the free throw line to try to put her Lady Blazers up.
Fouls are a bit even here in the second half. West Florida with 5, the Blazers with 6. The next Blazer foul will send the Argonauts to the line for 1-1.
So after the first miss by Daniels, she'll have a chance to put her Lady Blazers up by 1 point.
It's going for a 9th point here. Gets it.
And the free throw is good. And we're going to take a timeout right now with 9:25 left to go in the ball game. Valdosta State leads by the score of 44-43. We'll be right back. You're watching VSU-TV.
I got a ham sandwich and some pretzels. You want some pretzels?
Nah, I gotta trade you some cookies or something.
Like what?
I don't know.
How about an orange?
Get it. Hey, Jay, you got anything?
Don't ask Jay.
Why not?
Jay never has anything.
What's up with that?
Hey, you on a diet or something?
Yeah, a diet. Jay's on a diet. That's all right, man. We understand. My mom's on a diet.
We're back, 9:25 left to go in the second half. Valdosta State clinging to a 1 point lead. West Florida has the ball with a chance to take the lead. Clonita Jones gets the ball past half court.
West Florida's leading scorer, Kalia Henderson, is not in the game right now. She has 18 points.
She also has 3 fouls. So maybe West Florida is just trying to give her a breather, to keep her fresh for the end of the game. And that, my friends, is a 3-pointer by Casey Cloud. And that gives West Florida momentarily a 2-point lead at 46-44.
Newton with the ball. Her and Farrell, 10 points apiece. Lady Blazers high scorers on the day.
Here's Tracy Newton. She's made some nice passes here in this second half. Loose ball, Amber Daniels comes away with it. Out to Tiffany Van. Shot clock's at 4. Down to 2. Bucket turnaround, J by Monica Lee, no good. Air ball, shot clock violation. Nice defense by West Florida.
It's not what the Lady Blazers wanted down court. Down by 2, 8 minutes left. Probably wanted a better look at the basket than what they got.
Danny Hernandez checks back into the game. Tracy Newton's going to take a breather before the final stretch of the ball game.
Giving Tracy Newton a little break. She's scoreless here in the second half. Hasn't done too much. Good defense.
There's Casey Cloud, who just hit the go-ahead 3-pointer. Inside to Kalia Henderson. Basket's no good, but offensive rebound by West Florida, no good. Again, Nasker back up. Doesn't want to fall in. There's a lid on the basket, but it comes off, and that basket goes in.
Nasker shows you right there why she's her team's leading scorer. 2 rebounds, missing her shot, following up, finally putting it back in.
And with that bucket, West Florida takes a 4-point lead at 48-44. 7:45 left to go in the second half. Candace Farrell drives hoop. Lots of contact, no foul in the play, and Kylie Hill's not happy. Michelle Gibson on the layup is up and good. And Valdosta State and head coach Kylie Hill want to talk about it. They take a timeout. And just like that, West Florida has a 6-point lead. They're in the midst of a 7-0 run, Martin.
On that last Blazer possession, Kalia Henderson going up for the rebound, came down, falling down, holding, I think, her knee. She's being looked at right now. Interesting to see if she'll come back in. She is her team's leading scorer right now with 18 points. Gibson, not too far behind, 15 points. She has attempted 9 3-pointers. That's a lot of threes to put up. But when you're hitting them with 42% rates, who wouldn't put them up?
When you're an outstanding shooter like Michelle Gibson, even if you're having a so-so night shooting the ball, you still want to put it up because you got to have the confidence that eventually those shots are going to start to fall.
I wouldn't want to be over there in the Kylie Hill huddle. What do you think he's telling his players right now, Brad?
Well, again, it seems like that Valdosta State is rattled just a little bit. West Florida is in the midst of a 7-0 run. Just at the last time out, Valdosta State had a 1-point lead, but now with a 7-0 run, they are now facing a 6-point deficit. And there's still plenty of time, 7 minutes and 31 seconds left. He's just trying to calm his girls down and get them back into the flow and the rhythm of the ball game.
You just saw your men's Blazer basketball team. They will take the court right after this, trying to wrap up their season, their #1 seed.
That game will be following this one. Our colleagues Bryce Zimmerman and Kevin Allison will bring you that one from right here at the PE complex. Pass comes in to Candace Farrell. Over to Tiffany Van. Got to get it across court, and she does.
Last time up court, Tiffany Van threw a little forearm. Coaches for West Florida a bit furious that wasn't overlooked by the refs.
Danny Hernandez a little short on the three-point attempt. Had a nice look at it, and West Florida's pushing it. Out to Michelle Gibson. Spot up three. It's good.
If you're the Blazers defense, you can't let her shoot. She's on target tonight.
Those three-pointers will just suck the life out of you. The lead has grown to 9.
18 points for Gibson.
So it's been the Michelle Gibson and Kalila Henderson show tonight for West Florida. Out to Danny Hernandez, who gets it inside to Candace Farrell.
Blocking foul on Casey Cloud.
Cloud with the foul. It'll be the 16th foul for the Lady Argonauts.
Both teams with 6 fouls apiece. They will go through the line for 1-at-1 next foul, no matter what.
9-point lead for West Florida. Been a gigantic swing of momentum here in the last 3 minutes or so. Lady Blazers needing a bucket very badly here to stay in this ball game. Down low to Candace Farrell. The basket's up and good. That ends the 10-0 run by West Florida. The lead's down to 7.
Putting on the pressure, Tracy Newton. They don't want this to be a loss. They don't want to send their seniors with a last home game loss.
Absolutely right. Very important to get a W in this last game, to have some type of momentum going into the postseason. And a steal by the Lady Blazers. Again, Tracy Newton involved.
Tracy Newton stepped in front of Kalia Henderson, who looked like she just reached over her shoulder and pulled her down with her. Blazers fortunate to hold on to the ball.
Valdosta State can cut the lead down to 5 with a bucket, but it's stolen away by Clenita Jones.
Looked like Van tried to force that pass inside, trying to create an inside game with Amber Daniels.
It's going to be a foul on Amber Daniels, and that is her 4th foul. So she has one more foul before she can foul out. With that foul, West Florida is in the bonus, and Clenita Jones will be shooting a 1-and-1. 5:46 left to go in the second half. West Florida is taking control of the game in the last 5 minutes. They have a 7-point lead, and with this free throw, they take an 8-point lead.
Clenita, a very good free throw shooter, 68% on the year.
An 11-2 run by the Lady Argonauts of West Florida from way down in Pensacola, Florida, right off the Gulf.
Clenita misses her second, but she is well over her average. 9 points today, 6 points is her average.
Tiffany Van being guarded very closely by Clenita Jones. Inside to Amber Daniels. Daniels back out to Newton. Back inside to Candace Farrell. Daniels to Tiffany Van. The three-point attempt is short, no good. Ball goes out of bounds, and possession will belong to the Lady Argonauts.
Tiffany Van doesn't throw up many threes, but she was wide open there. Just a bit short.
Offense is beginning to struggle a little bit for Valdosta State.
Amber Daniels is out. Danielle Hernandez comes in.
We haven't got a lot of good looks at the basket in the last few possessions, and when we have, we've been short on the attempts. So offense struggling a little bit, and it's going to need to pick it up in order to pull this game out. Almost a backcourt violation against West Florida.
Lazy pass to Clenita Jones, and it looked like she didn't want to run back to go get it.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Veerling up and in. Nice left-handed layup by Erin Veerling. And West Florida is going to take a 30-second timeout to talk about things.
4 points for the struggling Veerling, but puts this game up to 10 points.
That's right, Mark. A 10-point lead for West Florida.
This is not the time to start a West Florida run if you're the Lazy Blazers. Just not enough time to come back. They can't allow this run to stretch out any longer.
Need a vacation and credit hours? The Study Abroad program is the answer for you, offering trips to London, Paris, Russia, Germany, and Italy. For more information, contact the Center for International Programs at 333-7410. So we got 4:53 left to go here in the second half, and Mark, Valdosta State is going to have to get something going offensively in order to pull this game out. And it needs to start right now, as they're going to take the ball.
This game definitely is not over, but the Blazers do need to pick it up and score pretty soon. They cannot just count on fouling and shooting and scoring like many other teams. This West Florida team is just too good at the line.
West Florida trying to pick up their 20th win of the season against 6 losses. They're going to be the number 2 seed in the Gulf South Conference next week, which will be held in Tupelo, Mississippi. Courtney Parker down inside. The layup is up and good by Candace Farrell. Nice spin move by Farrell. Gets the Blazers to within 8. Definitely a much-needed basket by the Lady Blazers. Drive to the hoop by Michelle Gibson. There's Kalia Henderson with the offensive rebound and the bucket. Leads back to 10. Kalia Henderson, who comes in averaging only 9.5 points a game, is just playing an outstanding game.
Candace Farrell, who wasn't even suspected to play this game, is stepping it up big for the Blazers. There's Newton barely missing. Unfortunate for the Blazers. It just seems like when they get something good happening on the offensive side, West Florida shuts them up on the other side, scoring her.
There's a nice drive to the hoop by Newton, but she kissed it off the glass, and then it went off the front of the rim and did not want to fall in. So we're getting down to crunch time. 3:45 left to go in the second half. Valdosta State trails by 10. Here's a three-point attempt by Gibson. Strong rebound by Danny Hernandez. Knocked away by West Florida. Remains Valdosta State ball.
Danny Hernandez, Tracy Newton both look a bit frustrated on their team. Kylie Hill, too, taking the timeout.
Valdosta State, with that timeout, will try to regroup and get back in this ball game. Watch VSU-TV anywhere you go by visiting the World Wide Web. Just type in VSU-TV.valdosta.edu. Again, that's VSU-TV.valdosta.edu. Mark, this, of course, is the last game of the regular season for both teams. West Florida has wrapped up the second seed from the east side, but Valdosta State with the win, will be the number 4 seed. But if they lose this game, with the win and a loss by West Georgia tonight, they will be the number 4 seed. But with the loss by the Lady Blazers today, they will be the 5 seed from the East, which will match them up with the number 4 seed from the West.
They definitely want to win today, but no matter what, they're in the tournament. That's good.
And that tournament is, of course, in Tupelo, Mississippi. That will begin on Wednesday and will conclude with the championship game on Sunday. 3:36 left to go in the second half. West Florida has come into Valdosta, Georgia, here at the PE complex on the campus of Valdosta State University. And they momentarily hold a 10-point lead over the Lady Blazers of Valdosta State.
As we said, Valdosta State usually very dominant at home, 13-1, their only loss against the division leader. But here, West Florida looks like they have a lead.
We got a reaching foul on Clonita Jones as she was guarding Tracy Newton. And with that foul, Valdosta State will be in the bonus. So a chance for Valdosta State to get some points without time running off the clock.
Looks like the West Florida coach is looking around like, what is she doing? You definitely don't want to stop the clock and let the Lady Blazers try to chip into this lead a little bit.
So Tracy Newton will go to the line, and she will shoot a 1-and-1. Newton, of course, shooting 84% on the season. She's definitely the girl you want up there in this chance.
Newton with her first points from the half. She absolutely lit it up in the first half. 11 points on the day, 10 points in the first half. That one just right there.
Here's her second attempt. It's up. And with that, the lead is down to 8. Henderson, as Michelle Gibson beats the press. She's being guarded by Tracy Newton. The layup is up, spins in, and falls in for the bucket. Lead back to 10, 3:18 left to go. West Florida leads 60-50.
Tracy Newton just beat by Gibson right there.
Inside to Candace Farrell, who puts it up. Basket does not fall, but she gets hacked. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
So close to the 3-point play there. Farrell has been incredible today, 14 points on the day.
Up until about 10 minutes ago in this second half, it was a seesaw game with Valdosta State actually having a 5-point lead. But within the last 7 minutes or so, the Lady Argonauts of West Florida have taken control, and they now lead by 9 with just over 3 minutes to go.
61% free throw shooter is Farrell at the line.
Second free throw is up and good. And with that free throw, the lead is down to 8.
Free throw is very important down the stretch, especially down by 10.
To get back in this game, Valdosta State is going to have to step it up defensively. Going to not have to allow those easy deuces that Kalia Henderson has been getting quite a few times here, especially here in the second half.
Henderson and Gibson with 20 points each. You can't let them do that to you.
Michelle Gibson thought about firing up the 3, but thought better of it, pulling back in order to run the clock down. Clock beginning to become a factor. Inside to Erin Fearling with a bucket. That gives her 6 points on the game, all here in the second half, and the lead has back to 10.
That was very interesting. They took Nasker out to the perimeter, their leading rebounder, and then Fearling just stepped in for the easy lay-in as Valdosta State kind of went to follow Nasker.
Ball knocked away by Kalia Henderson. Lady Blazers will retain possession. Danny Hernandez back in the ball game. You get the feeling that we're at that stage of the game where if the Lady Blazers are going to want to win, they're going to have to start shooting some three-pointers. Inside to Candace Farrell. Ball is knocked away, but it's going to be an offensive foul.
Looked like that might have been on Candace Farrell.
That's what the official call, Mark. It's going to be Candace's 4th foul. That was a costly mistake by the Lady Blazers. Lead is at 10. 2:20 left to go in the game as Gibson slips and falls, and Newton picks up the ball. Out to Hernandez. Danny Hernandez in her last home game as a Valdosta State Lady Blazer. Inside, basket is no good by Farrell. And the Lady Argonauts take possession, and they may have just taken this game.
It's going to be interesting to see when Valdosta State decides to start fouling, who they want to foul and when.
Clock is at 1:50. Shot clock is at 10. Tight defense by Amber Daniels. The trap by Daniels and Tiffany Van. The three-point attempt by Clenita Jones is good, and that could have been the dagger in the heart of the Lady Blazers.
Kisses the front side of the rim and it rolls in.
65-52 West Florida. 1:30 left to go in the ball game, and it's time for the Lady Blazers to start getting some quick baskets, possibly some three-pointers.
Last time down court for the Lady Argonauts. Looked like Valdosta State had some defensive control on them.
And Candace Farrell misses her shot attempt. Clenita Jones is fouled by Tiffany Van. That will send Jones to the line for a 1-and-1. Looks like, Mark, that West Florida is going to come in here to Valdosta, Georgia, to the PE complex in the southern part of Georgia, and they're going to take a victory from the Valdosta State Lady Blazers as they lead by 13 at 65-52 with 1 minute and 9 seconds.
Courtney Parker checking back into the game, as is Monica Lee taking out Candace Farrell. You got Clenita Jones at the line for West Florida, 11 points on the day. Not a shabby day for her at all.
She's been very active. She's been the leader of the team. She's been the so-called captain, dishing the ball off to Henderson. She's got several assists to Henderson down low.
She makes her first. The next foul for the Lady Blazers will send the Lady Argonauts into the double bonus.
And with that free throw, West Florida takes their biggest lead of the ball game at 67-52. Folks, that score is a little bit deceiving. As I just mentioned, West Florida leads by 15, but this was a quiet game, or excuse me, a tight game for the first 30 minutes or so of this game.
Yes, it was. Courtney Parker a bit confused over there what she wanted to do with the ball. Get it inside, put it back on the perimeter for somebody to shoot a three. Held it too long, got it knocked away from her.
67-52 West Florida, under a minute to go, down to 38 seconds. West Florida with a victory here in Valdosta will up their record to 20-6 as they will head into the Gulf South Conference Tournament next week in Tupelo. They will play Thursday at 2:45 against an undetermined opponent.
Amber Daniels with the steal, lay-in, 18 seconds left.
And with that bucket, the lead is now 13 for West Florida. But as I was saying, West Florida will play on Friday, I should say, at 2:45. And it looks like with this loss that Valdosta State will be playing on Wednesday in the first day of the tournament. They will play at 7:30 against the number 4 seed from the western side of the conference.
That number 4 seed will be Henderson State, so the Blazers can look forward to meeting them. This was a disappointing game for the Blazers, who thought they could maybe take one away from this West Florida squad. Number 2 seed, not a bad team at all, especially a good confidence booster game going into the tournament.
With this loss, Valdosta State will drop to 17-9. Struggled a little bit down the stretch of the season, losing with this game. Will have lost 7 out of their last 10 games. But you know what? Postseason is a new season, a chance to start fresh. Everyone's record is at 0-0, and maybe the Lady Blazers can make a run in the Gulf South Conference Tournament. The clock is winding down underneath 10 seconds now. An impressive victory for the Lady Argonauts, as the leading scorer, Erin Fearling, was held to 6 points, but the rest of her teammates, especially Michelle Gibson and Kalila Henderson, more than picked up the slack. And that's your final, folks. 67 for West Florida, 54 for Valdosta State. For Mark Holloway, this is Brad Christian. We thank you for watching, and stay tuned for Bryce Zimmerman and Kevin Allison for the men's game between Valdosta State and West Florida. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back.
At our high school here in Seattle, Rotary Club supports a program called Computers for the World.
We rebuild older computers and then personally take them to places where people can't afford them.
Computers for the World is one of many Rotary programs that rely upon volunteers of all ages from the community.
It's my way of making a positive impact on the lives of others.
It's a great example of the power of volunteerism.
You should volunteer. The world is counting on you.
It's springtime in the forest of the black-tailed deer. The young male is feeling playful. It's time for tag. The female flicks her ears. Her way of saying, "Catch me if you can."
The waters of America flow through many lands. Anywhere along the journey, polluted runoff can flow into the water. We can protect our waters by planting conservation trees in the country and in our towns. Go to the Arbor Day Foundation website, arborday.org. See how to plant the right trees in the right place.
Plant a tree today for all the world to share.
To protect your land and the waters of America.
Welcome to Valdosta State University campus here at the PE complex in Valdosta, Georgia, where today the 7th-ranked, nationally ranked Blazers will take on the West Florida Argonauts. Alongside Kevin Allison, I'm Bryce Zimmerman, and the Blazers are 12-1 in Gulf South Conference play and have already clinched the #1 spot in the East. We'll be back with the opening tip-off here against the Argonauts in Valdosta.
Welcome to Valdosta State University. Beautiful, isn't it? Are you upset about pesticides in your food, crude oil in your oceans, littering in our streets, clear-cutting of national forests, the killing of dolphins and sea turtles, destruction of wetlands? Now's the time to join Students Against Violating the Environment. SAVE helps by raising awareness among the student and faculty body about environmental issues on campus, in the community, and around the world. It's easy to make a difference. Simply call this number and join SAVE. Think globally, act locally.
Welcome back to the complex here in Valdosta, Georgia. West Florida in town for the first time this season and only time. The final game of the Gulf South Conference and the regular season for Valdosta State. 7th ranked nationally. What an unbelievable season so far from Coach Jim Yarborough. John Rogers up for the tip. He'll win it. Marcus Gent, the senior, comes down with it here on senior day, and Gerard Jones, #3, to bring it up court.
As you already mentioned, Bryce, it is senior day here in Valdosta. You do have 4 seniors: Ernest Scott, Marcus Gent, Chip Stroud, and who did I forget? One more.
Raji Leggett.
Raji Leggett, excuse me. I'm sorry, I've lost track as the ball goes out of bounds.
Travel for Valdosta State. Here comes Matt Shimwell, the career leader for the Argonauts in steals with 122 on his career, leading the season too with 45. Here's Chad Havens. Havens sends it into the middle. Back out. Now Shimwell all the way over to Kendrick Johnson. Johnson back to Shimwell. Shimwell driving around the left side. Can't do anything with it. Kendrick Johnson pulls up the 3. It's short air ball, and Gerard Jones pushing the court. He's got Ernest Scott on senior night. Laid in easily from Ernest. Johnson came strongly back. There's Shimwell. Back out Johnson. Back to Kendrick, jumping out on the help from John Rogers. Sends it over, Shimwell. Looked for Havens on the far side. Russell gives it up to Johnson, back over to Shimwell, back into, this is Kashif Russell. His shot goes high off the glass and good.
Wow, 2 unbelievable layups that have been contested on both ends now already early in this game.
Gerard Jones to bring it up court for Valdosta State. There's JJ crossing the timeline. Looks for Ernest off a screen. Baseline 3-pointer is no good. Tried to touch it off the glass. Didn't have it go. Marcus Gent now finds Gerard Jones cutting to the baseline. JJ back out Ernest. Another open 3. He'll fake it. Back to JJ now down low to Marcus Gent. That's his territory. Inside cut knocked away by Kendrick Johnson.
Nice defense as they were looking for Ernest Scott inside for the easy layup. You already saw Ernest Scott attempting a three-pointer. He has improved his three-point shooting tremendously this year, even though he missed that last attempt.
18-07-22, Michael Crane for three, and count it. Nothing but net from the redshirt freshman, 5-2 Valdosta State lead.
Michael Crane, as you said, the redshirt freshman, coming up big in a number of games this year. Hit with 8 seconds left in the game against Montevallo earlier, and also hit another big three-pointer against Montevallo last week.
Shimwell over to Russell. He's got a twin brother on the team. He came from Montevallo, tried to kick it inside, no good as he was looking for James Vilsaint. Knocked out of bounds, Blazer ball.
That's right, the Russell twins, both from Detroit, Michigan, went to Montevallo, both transferred together to West Florida.
Gerard Jones bringing it up court. Point guard for your Valdosta State Blazers. Zone defense from West Florida. This is Gent, sends inside, kicks it back out. JJ, penetration. Ernest Scott swings it over Michael Crane. Blazers moving the ball, but a charge call as Chad Havens had his feet set.
Even though the offense foul was called, that was great ball movement. Inside, outside ball movement for the Blazers. Kicking it out. Mike Crane trying to drive to the basket, though, and just causes the foul.
17-14, just underway here in the first half of play. 5-2 Blazer lead. This is Johnson guarded by Ernest Scott. Now back out to Shimwell. Havens on it. Havens kicks it over to the far side. Kendrick Johnson, the pull-up jumper is nothing but net. 16-55. Blazers up 1, 5-4.
It's a name you're going to be hearing a lot of today. Kendrick Johnson from Mobile, Alabama, averaging 15.4 points per game this season. He's the go-to guy for West Florida.
Gerard Jones calling the play for Valdosta State. Kicks it over Ernest Scott in the near baseline. Great cut from Marcus Gent. Couldn't finish it the first time. Tries to go back to it, couldn't do it. 16-27, Shimwell pushing it for the Argos. Now Russell, Shimwell on it. Russell on the near side wing. He'll send it down low. Ernest Scott guarding Johnson. Looked like he got away with the travel. Chad Havens, the open three, and he knocks it down. 7-5. Argonauts take the first lead of the ball
Coach
game.
Yarbrough is livid over there on the sidelines for Valdosta State. Wanted the traveling call. Did not get it. 7-5 lead for West Florida. Mr. Gerard Jones picks it up court.
Blazers trying to break the zone of West Florida. Gerard Jones now over to Jen on the far side. Knocks it down to the block. John Rogers had to give it up. JJ has an open lane, tries to dish it to Ernest Scott. Maybe a little bit too fancy from Valdosta State.
That's 3 straight possessions, though, for VSU, to where the ball movement has been unbelievable. Inside, outside, trying to get the easy basket, not settling for anything, just as they do retain the ball, just not being able to execute right now as far as putting the ball in the hole.
John Rogers on your near side wing. Now Ernest Scott to Gent. Marcus Gent, one of the seniors of this squad, pulls up. Ernest Scott for three, and he counted.
This was unbelievable in how he improved his three-point shot in the offseason. Only attempted 10 three-pointers all of last season.
Kendrick Johnson gets his man in the air and drives the lane with a right-hand finger roll. 9-8. West Florida in the lead. John Rogers in the low block, little baby hook, count it. Blazers take the lead back, 10-9, 15:05 to go here in the first half. Whistle on the play, not quite sure what the call was. Still not sure really what that call was.
It's interesting, ball still being taken out from underneath the basket. A little confusion.
Here's Shimwell. 9-9. Is the score on the board, but I thought the Blazers scored there when it was 8-9. Shot from Kashif Russell goes through, and it's 11-9. Blazers down 2 early on, just over 5 minutes into the game. Gerard Jones brings it across the timeline. JJ.
Slow tempo so far for VSU, even though they've got good ball men. Trying for the lob. Just out the outstretched hands of Ernest Scott.
Looking for the backdoor cut of Ernest Scott. Not there. Another turnover for VSU. Something they've limited early on in the season and throughout the season were turnovers deep in their own zone. Kendrick Johnson sends it over now to Russell. Russell handling the ball, guarded by Gent, sends it over now. This is Josh Sullivan on it, back over to Russell. Russell between the legs dribble. Now Kendrick Johnson sends it over Shimwell, cutting Russell. Looked like he got away with the walk, but puts the nice little left-hand lob into the net. 13-9, Valdosta State down 4, 13:55 left to go here in the first half of play. West Florida still in that zone. Back out Ernest Scott, he'll pull a three. This one is good too, and he caresses the net once again. 13-12, Valdosta State down 1, 13:34. Sullivan on your near side, sends it cross court to Vilsaint, back to Sullivan. Sullivan now to Russell. Russell gets away with the push.
The push off there.
Kendrick Johnson, the deep three doesn't go. John Rogers skies for the ring out and gets it on the second chance, and here's JJ with the fast break. They've got numbers, 3-on-3. Crane decides to pull up the jump shot from the baseline and count it. Good shot from Michael Crane. Matt Shimwell bringing it up. He's also their second all-time assist leader with 271. Johnson back to Shimwell. Shimwell, 4-year Argonaut. Now Josh Sullivan. Sullivan and the rest of these Argonauts wearing the blue kicks, blue and white kicks, look like Nike. They like to cut into the lane, as you saw Russell try to do there. Now back out Vilsaint. James Vilsaint goes up with the right hand, doesn't go. Gets his own rebound, jump hook doesn't go. John Rogers looked like he was fouled by behind, but no call. And JJ's pressing the issue once again. Kicks it out to Michael Crane. Michael Crane passes to the baseline. Ernest wants a three, and he will take it.
He tries to get the crowd pumped up. The senior from Marietta, Georgia. Looking forward to going to postseason play once again as he trying to get this last game of the season crowd into it.
12:06, 17-13, 4-point Blazer lead. Ernest Scott has accounted for a lot of three-pointers so far early on. Here's Josh Sullivan to your near side. He's at the wing. Back out to the top, Matt Shimwell. Shimwell drives with the right hand, pulls up with the left, doesn't get the bounce, and John Rogers comes down with the rebound, finds Gerard Jones, number 3 in the white. Here's JJ, back out Michael Crane, thought about a deep three. Ernest Scott for another one. This one is a little too strong. And Kershif Russell comes up with the rebound. Russell now on his right hand, back over to Shimwell. Trying to find the cutter. Gerard Jones a little too fast for Josh Sullivan there. 11:28, Blazers up 17-13. Ben Mallett coming into the game for the first time, along with number 23, Tony Baker.
And number 22, Ben Mallett.
Shimwell looks for the inbounds pass. He's got his man. Taylor Tuck with the right hand doesn't go. And Michael Crane skies up for the rebound. Here's Crane. Ben Mallett in to run the point. Mallett back to Crane. Crane on the far side wing. Crane lobs one over to Ernest. He's thinking about a three again. This time dumps it deep to Raji, back out to Mallett, and now over to Ernest again. Ernest far side to Tony, back out, moving the ball against this zone. They're giving him the middle lane. Ernest steps into it and rolls one out of the rim. Shimwell across to Sullivan. Sullivan back to Shimwell. Now Sullivan on it. Far side, kicks it over to Taylor Tuck. Taylor Tuck will pull the 15-footer, doesn't go. Ben Mallett up for the board. And he'll press it up court. Mallett kicks it back. Crane for a deep three, and this one is good. Knocked down as he hit the three, but no foul call. Blazers up 20-13. 10 minutes, 30 seconds left. Here's Sullivan. Sullivan with the right hand, now over to Shimwell. Shimwell has yet to come out of the game for the Argos. Sullivan, Ben Mallett guarding him. Now Taylor Tuck. Argos tries to go baseline, 22, can't do it. Taylor Tuck back out to Sullivan. Sullivan trying to use the pick from Shimwell. Taylor Tuck, he's a three-point threat. He'll pull up. The shot in the lane is good. 10 minutes, 20-15 Blazer lead.
So far, West Florida not really sticking with their type of game. They normally throw up a lot of three-pointers. Third in the Gulf South Conference in three-pointers made. Trying to drive, get a little bit easier baskets.
9:44 left in the first half. Blazers' #1 defense so far has held the Argos to 15 points. This is Ernest Scott to the far side. Quick inside pass, Raji Leggett with the right hand. Beautiful little baby turnaround shot. 22-15 Blazer lead, 9:26 left to go. Here's Shimwell. He finds Sullivan. Inside to Bruno Silva, now all the way back out. Bruno Silva, interesting story. He's from Nova Iguaçu, Brazil. Now playing in Pensacola for Don Hogan. Taylor Tuck. Tuck with the right hand, strong move to the lane, but he couldn't get any touch on that one. Raji Leggett comes down with the rebound. Now Ben Mallett on it. Mallett handling the rock for VSU. Gerard Jones, Marcus Gent, and Chip Stroud set to check in. 8:47 remaining. This is Ben Mallett. Now Michael Crane. Crane takes the big jump shot. Back iron, doesn't get it to go. Tony Baker tried to slap a rebound over Matt Walker's head, but it didn't happen. Now Josh Sullivan. Sullivan back out to Walker. Walker only gets 8.2 minutes per game and averaging 1.4. Interesting to see him in here for the Argonauts. Sullivan. Now Taylor Tuck. Tuck Taylor all the way, shoots the big three, doesn't get it to go. He's their leading three-point shooter in percentage. Timeout called. Valdosta State 8-12, 22-15 so far. Blazers on top. We'll be back right after this on VSU-TV.
Every day on the set, we get to portray heroes.
But the men and women of the Naval Reserve, our real-life neighbors, our friends.
They're out there every day, making a difference.
Sometimes even putting themselves in harm's way to keep our nation safe.
Making a difference.
That's what real heroes do.
Find out how you can make a difference by joining the Naval Reserve.
Call 1-800-USA-USNR.
The United States Naval Reserve. Stay strong.
Gerard Jones on the ball for Valdosta State. JJ passes over now to Marcus Gent. Marcus Gent. Tony Baker, the fadeaway. It's good. What an unbelievable shot from Tony Baker back here in Valdosta, Georgia. 24-15. Blazer lead.
Baker, the sensational sixth man for Jim Yarbrough's club, comes in, creates such a spark from that bench. It's almost like you don't lose anything when he comes into the game. We're not even
Sullivan.
on.
Back over to Walker. Now Matt Walker on it. Walker with the right hand. Walker tries to drive in. What a block from Raji Leggett. Blazers up 24-15, 7:27 left to go here in the first half of play. Timeout called for, I believe the Argonauts took that.
Actually, I believe it was media, which was interesting because there was no media timeout. Normally it comes in after the 10-minute mark. Coach Yarbrough elected to take a timeout before a stoppage in play.
Valdosta's Symphony Orchestra and Symphony Chorus perform Elijah Saturday, March 27th at 8 p.m. in Whitehead Auditorium. If you're interested in going to that, call 333-2150 for tickets. There you see some of the crazies for Valdosta State. Always come out to the game, have a good time. Blazers having a good time right now. 9-point lead on some excellent shooting.
That's right. You have Ernest Scott pinpoint right now. Sharp shooting. It's like it's throwing darts from all areas. I've only missed 2 3-pointers, I believe. Leading the team along with Mike Crane, 9 points apiece. Rogers has 2, along with Tony Baker and 2. And, you know, they're holding West Florida only 15 points. Not Coach Yarbrough's squad, one of the best defenses in all the country. Actually, the #1 scoring defense. And part of that is because they do not allow easy shots. They don't allow the 3-point shot to be taken either. And that's West Florida's strongest point.
Only allow 50.9 points per game on defense for this Blazer squad. Senior Chip Stroud in, he'll be guarding. And there's a foul. It looked like number 12, that's Nazir Russell, brother of Kashif, moved on the baseline. You can't do that off an inbounds pass, or at least especially off a timeout. Here's Gerard Jones bringing it across the timeline. Argonauts still in that zone defense. 7-17, 24-15 Blazer lead. Out to Tony Baker. Tony Baker sends it across Gent. Gent now Chip Stroud. He's a definite 3-point threat here on senior day. He's telling Tony to come through, didn't want to do it. Here's Baker. Baker back out to Stroud. He'll pop that 3, and on cue, Chip Stroud comes through.
It's as easy as that. Either work chip off of some screens to get him open, or just move him over, let him slip through the cracks as far as the defenders, and let him knock down the three.
He's very good on that wing, and Kendrick Johnson misses the three. Raji Leggett could not corral the rebound. It'll be off Blazers and be Argonaut ball.
Just could not come down with that. Battled it about 3 or 4 times.
6 minutes, 40 seconds left here in the first half of play. Blazers with a 12-point lead, 27-15. Here's the younger or smaller of the Russell twins. Now Matt Walker. Walker can't do anything with it. Bruno Silva hailing from Brazil. Silva all the way out now to Sullivan. Sullivan lofts it inside Kendrick Johnson. Kendrick Johnson is fouled as he was going up, but it's not going to be a shooting foul.
On the floor. Just cannot bring in that pass, and therefore Raji actually. Marcus Gent, the foul called as he was expecting the ball to go up, but because he could not handle the ball, Marcus came down on top of the player, the West Florida player.
First foul for the senior Gent, 6:24, 27-15, Blazer lead. Shot from the Argonauts from the wing, nothing but nothing. Jason Pons misses that one, a 6'1" guard from Bonifay, Florida. You know, he may not be able to shoot the ball too well, but he's an academic GSC All-American.
It's good for him.
And the salutatorian of his high school class. Wow, guy's smart.
He's got more than me. He can play basketball and he can the academics.
JJ on your near side wing. Looking for chip off a baseline, finds him. Chip back to Gerard Jones, trying to break this zone. They've done it successfully for 27 so far. Marcus Gent fakes the three. Silva jumps out on him, sends it all the way across. JJ open for three. He won't take it, moves inside. Quick little pass to Raji, put up an air ball. Looked like he got fouled a little bit on that one, but no call. And here's Josh Sullivan. Sullivan finds Pons. The smart man with the ball. Smart guy, brings the left hand. Trying to find Josh Sullivan. No easy passes for this Valdosta State defense. They don't give anything up. Bruno Silva now over to Russell, number 1. Here's Silva. Silva tries to lob it in. Not too much touch on that one to Kendrick Johnson. The leading scorer goes up with the right hand, and he's hacked by Marcus Gent. 5:20, 27-15. Johnson will go to the line for 2.
Team foul number 3.
Blazers with 3 team fouls. No fouls for the West Florida Argonauts. That's an interesting stat. Johnson's first of 2 is no good. Coming in for the Blazers, Ernest Scott will take out Marcus Gent. John Rogers comes in for Raji, and Michael Crane back in the game. So Tony Baker, Gerard Jones, Crane, Rogers, and Scott on the floor for Valdosta State. Here's Kendrick Johnson's second attempt.
And second free throw of the game for both teams here.
And it goes through, 27-16, lead cut to 11. Half-court trap set up by West Florida. Zone trap, try to find Ernest now over Tony Baker. He'll pull up the 3, hesitated, but it doesn't matter as he knocks it straight through the cylinder.
A little stutter step by Tony Baker. Unsure if he wanted to shoot that. That puts VSU 6 for 9 for 3-pointers on the game right now.
30-16, Blazers open it up a little bit, 14-point lead. Russell on it, this is Kashif. Sends it over Silva. Silva with a 17-footer, no good. Knocked away by Johnson as Crane came down with it, but here comes JJ pressing it down court. JJ goes coast to coast, lays it in with the left hand.
Gerard Jones, maybe one of the smartest point guards in the Gulf South Conference. Knows when to hold up the play when he knows that it's not smart enough to push it, and also when to actually press the ball when you get an easy fast break opportunity. Gerard Jones Jr. It's good to see that he'll be back for next year.
He will be back, and he's juiced up this crowd. 441, 32-16. Blazers have the lead. And you've got to love this team, 12-1 in the Gulf South Conference. We haven't talked about the fact that they've already clinched the #1 spot going to the GSE tournament in Tupelo. That's an outstanding feat on its own, and they have a chance to host the South region. So one of the most accomplished seasons at Valdosta State, and especially for head coach Jim Yarbrough.
That's right, Coach Yarbrough in his 4th season. Very proud of his team. This game, even though you may not think of it as having a lot on the line, you don't want to go into postseason play on a down note. You want to go in a little positive, but you also want to stay healthy. You don't want to get anybody injured, and you don't want to go in with any lack of confidence either. So, I'm also interested to know West Florida. They do have something on the line here. They can, if they win today, they would assure themselves of a first-round bye. But if they lose, first-round bye for the Gulf South Conference tournament. But if they lose, then they are forced into the 4th position. And, of course, with the GSC tournament, 4 versus 5 play each other in the first round.
So a lot on the line for the Argonauts. This is James Ville-Saint, hard to the basket with the right hand. Ville-Saint is a 6'7" center, and the kid, man, he came from Mercer University's B squad, 6.5 points per game. He's got 19 blocks on the season, so a definite presence inside from Ville-Saint. Ernest Scott now to JJ. Tony Baker will pop the 3 in rhythm. It doesn't go. Trying to sky for the rebound was Ernest, but the ball went over the backboard to West Florida. Tony Baker already hit that 1-3. Didn't hesitate for that one. Maybe should have taken a little stutter step, take that one to the lane. Shimwell barking out the orders. Now here's Sullivan. Sullivan far side wing. Gerard Jones guarding him. Back out to Shimwell. Calling for a pick, never came. The lob inside to Johnson. Johnson pump fakes, has it blocked by Ernest Scott cleanly, but then he almost stole it back. It'll be Valdosta State ball, but great hustle from the Argos leading scorer.
Right, with the risk of not taking the three-point shots that West Florida's used to, they're trying to bring it inside, but then you have to face John Rogers and Ernest Scott, the top 2 shot blockers in the Gulf South Conference. John Rogers, top 20 in the nation in shot blocks as well.
2 a game for John Rogers, and Ernest Scott had a 7-block game a while back. Tony Baker, whoa, what a fancy pass out to Ernest, and guess what? Nothing but nylon. He doesn't even use the rim anymore. Shimwell pressing it down for West Florida. Ernest Scott having a senior day if there ever was one. Kendrick Johnson, 35-18, 3:09 left to go in the first. Here's Kashif Russell. Russell back out to Shimwell, nearly knocked away by Crane. Uses the pick, sends it into Ville-Saint. Ville-Saint trying to go up with the left hand, now back to the right hand. He's hacked by John Rogers. He'll shoot 2.
Ville-Saint with that hesitation move, got John Rogers up in the air. Easy foul. Let's go back to Ernest Scott for a minute. He's shooting 43% on three-pointers for the year. After today, who knows, maybe up to 45, 46%.
Unbelievable from behind the arc, especially the improvement of last season. We've talked about this many times on Blazers Sports Report as well as on the basketball broadcast. I mean, he's just had an unbelievable road from being a bench player in his first year at Valdosta State and not even really starting in high school to being one of the most counted on and viable threats in the Gulf South Conference. Shot goes through for Ville-Saint, 35-22-52. Gerard Jones to bring it up court for the Blazers. Flamed red and black with a 15-point lead. Tony Baker inside John Rogers, good position. Gets a foul call. And he will shoot 2. So Rogers to the line. And the crowd getting on the referees because that's the first foul in almost 18 minutes of play for the Argonauts.
John Rogers to the line.
Rogers to the line. Misses the first one. He's not the most deft free throw shooter. Something he can improve on. Just a sophomore from Hayhira.
He's just about 50% for the year, but I mean, you're right. He does have, he's young, and he's improved tremendously from last year as he tries to put his own rebound back. Tries to slam it home, goes out of bounds. But with John Rogers in this program for another few years, so much to look forward to. His defensive prowess down underneath the basket is unbelievable. He's improved his offense tremendously this year. He's got scoring quite a bit. Leads the team, or second in the team in double-doubles in the year.
Ville-Saint misses the jumper. Tony Baker bringing it down, and he'll go up with the right hand, but the follow jam from John Rogers, the man we were just talking about. Not in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Back out to Russell. Russell shoots a bomb, and it's good. Three-pointer from Kashif Russell, 37-23. 2 minutes left to go here in the first half. Blazers up by 14, a comfortable lead, but would like to make it a little bit more. JJ gonna run the offense, hands it off to Michael Crane. Back to JJ. Near side wing, finds Tony Baker. Tony Baker guarded up deep, lofts it out to JJ. Gerard Jones, crossover dribble, back to the spin move, goes up with the left hand. What a fancy move. ESPN highlight style, Gerard Jones.
For what Gerard Jones may lack in being able to be a deep threat as far as three-pointers. He definitely makes up for it and slash into the lane driving, and his passing ability as well.
There's nobody I've ever seen that can match his quickness. There's Russell. Nearly got away from Shimwell. Now over to Johnson. Johnson for three, and it goes. So Kendrick Johnson answers the Gerard Jones human highlight film layup, and it's 39-26, 1:13 left to go here in the first half. JJ looking to create once again. West Florida has now gone to a man defense. Inside John Rogers, trying to get good position. He'll shoot from almost behind the basket, doesn't go.
A little turnaround there from John Rogers.
There's Sullivan. Sullivan on the far side wing. All the way across now, Shimwell. Shimwell uses Russell off a pick, and he drains a huge rainbow three. Big three for the Argonauts. Cuts the lead to 10 with under 30.
Another three-pointer by Russell. Now you're starting to see the three-point threat that these guys are from West Florida. Cuts it down to 10 points with just under 25 seconds to play with Gerard Jones holding for the last shot.
About a half-second difference from the shot clock to the regular clock. Timeout call with 16.7 and 16 on the shot clock. So the Blazers will likely hold for the last shot here with a 10-point lead. A very cleanly played game so far. Not a lot of fouls, only 5 combined fouls, only two free throw attempts for both, or 4 for Valdosta State and 2 for 4. Actually, I think 8. I can't do math. Janesville Saint went to the line for 2, as did John Rogers, the 2 big men. So only 8 combined free throw attempts so far through one half of play. That's interesting.
So far, Kashif Russell, 5 for 5 on the game, perfect. And Ernest Scott trying to match him. But all of Ernest Scott's points, as we've noted already quite a few times, his three-point ability, all of his points so far are coming from behind an arc.
Three-point threat, Will Thompson in the game.
Roger Leggett checks back in as well.
12 seconds, counting down, now under 10. JJ starting to run the play. Shimwell guarding him. Michael Crane comes off a screen, knocked away by Sullivan. It'll be Blazers ball with 4.3 left to go. Coming into the game for West Florida is Cedric Isaac, a 6'6" junior, 220. Lurleen B. Wallace, JUCO transfer. Only gets 11 minutes of play. Thompson has about 33 or 4 seconds of play and goes out. Tony Baker inside JJ. JJ looking to create. Gerard Jones back out. Ernest from way behind the arc to
what a way
shot at the buzzer.
What a way to end the half. Right on cue, Ernest Scott nailing a three-pointer to bring us to halftime. All of his points on three-pointers. It really puts an exclamation point on how this first half went for VSU.
Senior day here at Valdosta State University. Blazers up 42-29.
Diversification. It's a pretty big word, but easy to understand, especially when it comes to structuring your investment portfolio. Having diversity in your investments is always a good idea. It not only makes your overall portfolio more balanced, it can provide you with a little peace of mind by helping you to minimize your risks. Simply put, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Learn more about the importance of diversifying your portfolio and choose to save.
Properly inflating my tires burns less fuel and saves me money on gas. Yeah, I'm saving Mother Nature from pollution, but more importantly, she saved me $11. Ow!
Environmental defense. Get green.
By keeping my car regularly tuned, I save money on gas and repairs. That also means cleaner air. You know, feels good to help save the cash, planet.
Environmental defense. Get green. For more tips, go to getgreen.com.
Valdosta State University, Georgia's regional partner, combining classroom and research opportunities, giving students the skills they need to achieve in a new millennium. From water purification research to archaeological excavations, Valdosta State students and professors work together in the laboratory and in the community. Hands-on learning, real-world research. Valdosta State University is Georgia's regional partner.
Welcome back here to Valdosta State University campus here at the complex. Blazers up 42-29 in the final regular season game here in Valdosta for Valdosta State's team, 12-1, looking to go 13-1 in the Gulf South Conference. Russell set to take the inbounds pass. Gives it up to Shimwell. Shimwell now back to Russell behind the three-point line. He had 12 in the first half. Now over to Shimwell. Shimwell on the far side wing. Back. Looks like he tried to do a tricky pass over to Vilsaint. Now Kendrick Johnson. Johnson. Transfer from North Georgia College and State. Good right hand hook doesn't go for Vilsaint. And Gerard Jones brings up court after a John Rogers rebound. Ernest Scott wide open for three. Doesn't start off the second half like he started off the first.
Why should he not take that three-point after his incredible first half from behind the arc?
Shimwell now. Over to Russell. Russell to Johnson. Johnson on the isolation. They've got John Rogers on him. Back over to Russell. Now Ernest Scott jumps out. Russell cutting to the lane. Can't get the rebound, but gets his own rebound with the left hand, puts it home. 42-31, a minute into the second half.
See what you possibly take away when you put John Rogers out on Kendrick Johnson, but at the three-point line, you take away a rebounder, and you see West Florida comes up with the offensive rebound to put it home for
Michael
two.
Crane can't get the basket to go home, and wide open on the screen, just couldn't get there. So 0 for 2 to start off. How did they shoot in the first half, though?
You know, story of the three-pointer for Valdosta State. 66% from three-point land, 65% overall. Not too bad. Mike Crane, Ernest Scott leading the way. Ernest Scott 4 for 6 from three-pointers, and Mike Crane 2 for 3.
West Florida on a 6-0 run to start the second half. 18-24 now, 42-33. That was Kendrick Johnson down low. And Gerard Jones looks to get the offense for Valdosta State moving. Inside, great pass. Marcus Gent goes up strong to the hoop. He's so good underneath the basket. 44-33, 18-07. Blazers on top by 11. Shimwell on the far side. 4-year Argonaut. Career leader in many categories for West Florida. Here's Russell. Vilsaint screeching for the ball. Can't get it. Havens now over to Russell. Or excuse me, that's Shimwell. Shimwell, Havens again. Calling the play, back out Shimwell, 10 seconds on the shot clock. He'll shoot a long three, doesn't go, front iron.
About 3 feet from behind the arc.
JJ pressing the issue, sends it over to Ernest. Baseline jump shot is good off the glass.
That's the shot we've been accustomed to seeing Ernest Scott take it from throughout the years, the little 15-foot baseline jumper. He's extended it out a few more feet, though, especially tonight.
Vilsaint banging down low, jump stop, got away with a walk, and no, he didn't. They tagged him.
Referees here are actually calling a pretty good game so far. You know, not that many fouls, only 1 foul in the first half for West Florida, only 4 for Valdosta State.
Let the boys play. 46-33, 17-13. Blazers have the lead, 46-33, 13 points. Inside Marcus Gent, right hand, quick turnaround, layup is good.
2 possessions now where Marcus Gent's been able to work it inside, get an easy bucket. Something that Coach Yarbrough may have been wanting to stress, or to do a little bit more out in the second half, only 10 inside the paint points in the first half for VSU.
Timeout called by West Florida. Argonauts now down by 15, 48-33. Full timeout for Coach Don Hogan in his 10th year in Pensacola. 177 wins and 125 losses in his career, so not bad from Mr. Hogan. Tune in your radio station to 90.9 FM every Thursday night from 8 to 10 to hear the X's and O's shows. Jock Talk without the itch. Valdosta's only sports rock talk radio program found only on V91, the voice of Valdosta State. And that Blaze can do some backflips.
You want to hear some of the information as far as coaches and all that, you do see a lot of guests. Coach Yarbrough and Coach Hill on the X's and O's show this past week, talking Blazer basketball if you want all the inside information.
Some interesting information given on that show because Coach Yarbrough was very adamant of the fact that this team is still earning the respect of the league.
Which is extremely interesting given the record. Only 1 defeat in the Gulf South Conference this year. But, you know, what I did not know, and it's something you kind of pay attention to, not a single player of the week has been named while Coach Yarbrough has been in charge of VSU.
That is unbelievable.
I mean, you have a number of honorable mentions last week. Mike Crane and Ernest Scott throughout the year has been given a number of honorable mentions, but
Acrobatic lay-in from James Vilsaint. Blazers up 48-35, 16-37. JJ across the half-court line. Gent now over to Scott. Back out to James. Gent cutting, didn't get the ball, trying to post up, can't get it now. Marcus takes it away. Gerard Jones cutting to the lane, using that quickness, sends it out to John Rogers. Had it blocked from behind by Shimwell. No foul called. Must have got all ball on that one.
There may be the argument as far as a lot of fouls have been called. Sometimes that foul would be called in a number of games, but here the referees are letting them play.
16-18, 48-35, Blazers. 3-second violation from Gerard Jones, or from the Valdosta State offense. Kendrick Johnson to play it in to Matt Shimwell. Where's number 10 for the blue and green of the Argonauts? Not quite sure how that represents an Argonaut. Now Kendrick Johnson, whoa, what a reverse lay-in high off the glass with English. What a play from Kendrick Johnson.
Talk about athleticism. He threw that ball up from his shoe tops.
48-37, lead cut to 11, 15-52 left to go. Double team, Ernest Scott now out to JJ. JJ didn't see Russell, almost ran into him. Now Ernest Scott fakes the three inside. John Rogers has it stripped away, foul call. This Argonaut team is very aggressive trying to slap the ball, very aggressive jumping out on screens as well. John Rogers will go to line. He missed his first 2 free throws of the night earlier. 15-40, looking to give the Blazers a 12-point lead. Jack doesn't get the first one to go. Blazers have to shoot a little bit better from the free throw line. It is called the charity stripe for a reason. Second one is off the front iron, no good. And here's Josh Sullivan. Sullivan pressing it up the floor. Sullivan on the far side sends it over to Russell, wide open for 3. Back iron doesn't go, knocked out of bounds by Kendrick Johnson. It's going to Valdosta State.
Ernest Scott on the day already, 18 points. Who knows, maybe we will see the first Gulf South Conference Player of the Week.
It would be nice on senior day for Ernest Scott, hailing from Marietta, Georgia, his 4th year as a Blazer. JJ gives it off to Michael Crane. Crane's got some room in the lane and puts up the right-hand runner and then goes through. Some creative movement in the lane from Valdosta State and Michael Crane.
I love the way that Michael Crane can come up with his own shot. He can create it off the dribble, or he's also a great spot shooter. But you see him driving in, 4 Argonauts surrounding the ball there, but still he leans in and puts it home for 2.
Johnson driving the lane, spin move, has it blocked from John Rogers.
Foul from before.
Foul on Ernest Scott beforehand. Kendrick Johnson wanted the basket to count, but no dice. 50-37, Blazers up 13, 15:03 left to go here in the second half, and it looks like Johnson will go to the line for 2. First foul on the senior Ernest Scott. His first free throw from Johnson rims out, no good.
Kendrick Johnson, interesting, over 50% from the floor throughout the year, but pretty much the same numbers from the free throw line, only about 52%.
Second attempt is good, 50-38, Blazers up 12. Just over 15 minutes remaining. Gerard Jones. Now the Ernest Scott nearly taken away from Johnson. Blazers with some risky pass, and Marcus Gent traveled as he forgot to dribble as he took a huge step towards the lane.
Trying to get to the basket for the easy layup, he did. Slide his pivot foot just a little bit.
Shimwell over to Sullivan, back to Shimwell, no look pass for no reason. Now here's Russell. Russell, entry pass to Johnson. Johnson bangs, shoots the right hand, no good. Vilsaint coming in for the rebound. John Rogers sends it out quickly to Mark Crane. Mark Crane faking the three-pointer, dribbles around Shimwell. One of the better defensive players, Marcus Gent, high off the glass, no good. Ernest Scott with the rebound, nothing called. Fighting for the rebound, Blazers scrapping for it. Gent finally comes up with it. Marcus sends it over. John Rogers lays it up and good. And
Great
one.
look by Marcus Gent there. Drive to the basket, could have easily put it up himself, but wisely kicked it out and over to John Rogers, who puts it home for the impossible three-point play.
It seemed like the rock stayed on the cylinder for so long before drooping into the net.
Marcus Gent checks out, and Tony Baker does come in for Coach Yarbrough's team.
Bruno Silva, in the 6'7" junior hailing from Brazil.
For the Argonauts, number 33, Bruno Silva.
John Rogers, 0 for 4 so far on the day from the charity stripe. Gets his, actually that's his second, I believe. 53-38, 14 minutes left to go. Shimwell, now Silva back to Shimwell, Kendrick Johnson. This is Sullivan. Sullivan back into Johnson. Johnson using that baseline, can't do anything on the block. John Rogers gets the rebound and clears it out, and here's Gerard Jones scraping it up court. Jones, pump fake, back in. He's so tricky in little space and unbelievable. He creates his own space to go up with the left hand.
Unbelievable footwork from Gerard Jones and unbelievable handles, as you like to say, Bryce. He's being able to dribble and you know, keep the ball moving all the time. He doesn't get stuck no matter where he is on the court.
Silva to Shimwell. Shimwell guarded by Crane. Uses a pick from Vilsaint. Now back out to Silva. Silva with Tony Baker on him. Good stop and gets the roll to go. 40 points now for the Argonauts. 55-40 is your score. 15-point lead. About 8 minutes into the game.
To the second half.
Yeah. JJ now out to Tony Baker. Tony Baker shake and bake.
Ooh.
Lost this dribble, picked it back up. Here's Ernest Scott. Kendrick Johnson not giving him any room to shoot the three. John Rogers using his body, can't put it up over Silva. 12:50 left. Kendrick Johnson, pump fake, now shoots the three and gets the lucky bounce off the rim, off the backboard, and back down the pipe. 55-43.
Past few trips down the floor for Kendrick Johnson have been a little unlucky. Trying to work it inside. Ernest Scott, John Rogers has been shutting him down, so he decides to take the three-point shot and does get extremely lucky.
John Rogers was wide open on a baseline screen, and Tony Baker turns the ball over. Blazers getting a little bit sloppy, 12-17. Shimwell pressing for West Florida. Look a little hungry right now. Vilsaint leans into Rogers, puts it up and home, count the basket. Rogers with the foul, and all of a sudden, the Argonauts have a chance to cut the lead under 10 for the first time in the second half. Raji Leggett and Chip Stroud to check in for the Flamed red and black.
Foul is called number 34, John Rogers.
Kendrick Johnson out for the first time for West Florida.
Team foul number 2.
Vilsaint to the line to try to complete the three-point play, and he does it. 12 minutes, 12 seconds remaining on senior day here at the complex in beautiful Valdosta, Georgia. It's been a little bit cool outside recently, but hopefully the weather will warm up. It's hot enough inside as the Blazers lead. 55-46, lead cut to 9. Here's Mike Crane with the ball. Crane with Shimwell on him. Man coverage from West Florida. Crane with the right hand circus shot, unbelievable.
Again in there with the little runner cut. Stops an 8-0 run though by West Florida with that little layup.
57-46, Blazers regain an 11-point lead. Shimwell and a timeout called by Don Hogan, 11:47 to go, 57-46, Blazers with the 11-point lead over West Florida.
Don Hogan electing to take this timeout. You know, realizes what an opportunity he has. He wants to keep this game within 10 points. 11:47 to go. Wants timeout, talk to his team, make sure that they stay focused, possibly chip in a little bit more against VSU.
Hey, did you know that you can watch VSU-TV anywhere? You can go to it by visiting the World Wide Web. Just type in vsutv.valdosta.edu. Check us out. You can see this program and many others.
Well, you know, I'm sure I tell my parents, and I'm sure you do as well. Interesting to know that you can see everything that we do on the internet.
Unfortunately, my parents don't know how to connect to the internet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure mine don't either.
Here's Shimwell. Now over to Tuck Taylor. What a name. Where's double fours? Here's Silva. Silva baseline. Great move, but Ernest Scott was there to thwart it. Not quite blocked, but pestered. And here's Michael Crane pressing it. Crane tries to sneak it through to Scott, stolen away by Sullivan. Here's Sullivan, the Cleveland College State transfer. Now over to Silva. Silva got away with the travel, taken away. Great anticipation from Ernest Scott. Torrid pace to this game now. Here's Tony Baker. Tony Baker at the three-point line. Crosses over. Chip Stroud wide open for three. His second of the night doesn't go. A little too strong on that one. Sullivan comes down with the rebound. And the Argonauts get away with a huge cherry picker. That's Cedric Isaac wide open way back in the Blazer zone.
Isaac camped out back there with the up and down pace.
57-48, 10:53 remaining in the second half. Chip Stroud on the ball. Now over to Michael Crane. Crane, the red shirt freshman. Tony Baker will pull up the jump shot. It's for two, and it counts. 10:37, 59-48, Blazers lead. Up to 11, Shimwell. Now to Sullivan, back to Shimwell. Silva working the perimeter over to Tuck. Here's Isaac, the cherry picker, now inside Silva. Silva with the left hand, and they get another one and a foul on Valdosta State. The foul will be on Ernest Scott. Silva will go to the line. 59-50, lead once again, cut down to 9 and could be cut to 8.
Inside game right now is working for West Florida, trying to take a two-rush and get Ernest Scott. Physical play, only 3 fouls now for VSU, but they're getting some miraculous shots to go out. They're throwing it up, kissing off the glass, and somehow these shots are going in.
Into the game, Nazir Russell. There's Silva to take the free throw. Back iron, no good. Brought down by Tony Baker. Tony Baker slows down a little bit, now back to Crane. Tony Baker wide open for three. This one is good. 10-12, 62-52. Restore the 12-point lead for the Flamed Red and Black. Russell now to Silva, over to Sullivan on the far side. Sullivan looking for that baseline cut, back to Silva. Silva crossover dribble left. Ernest Scott in. Wow, he undressed Ernest Scott with that crossover dribble, the Brazilian, but a charged
Doesn't
foul.
matter. Yep. It's all for show, but you got to be able to be control of yourself. And Ernest Scott actually planted his feet, took the charge.
9:56 remaining, 62-52. Blazers 10-point lead here on Senior Day. We'll be back on VSU-TV with the rest of your second half action.
When I was 16, I took my first CPR class from our local chapter of the American Red Cross. My name's Michael Scepter. My wife Pam and I had our second child, Jared, 2 years ago. When Jared was 1 day old, I saw him choking. He was turning blue. I gave him back blows, just like I had learned from the Red Cross. Jared coughed something up and he was fine. For us, CPR is a family thing. Pam knows CPR, and I'm an instructor. What the Red Cross teaches you can save lives. Jared is living proof.
Your local American Red Cross is people helping every day in your community. From immediate disaster relief to life-saving training like CPR and first aid, we keep you and your families safe. But we need your help. Please, contact your local American Red Cross chapter to offer your financial support. Together, we can save a life.
Welcome back to VSU-TV. Blazers up 62-52, 10-point lead. 9:56 remaining here in the first half as Blaze stops on by the booth. Blazer ball underneath the basket.
Trying to steal all our goodies, all our information, our cheat sheets, if you will.
Gerard Jones guarded by Nazir Russell. He had 6 steals in one game against Carver College on December 5th. JJ being harassed by Russell. He'll cut to the lane. Had the ball tied up and turnover created by the West Florida Argonauts.
It's obvious Russell was brought in to match Gerard Jones' speed.
Josh Sullivan with a huge three, 62-55 lead, cut to 7. JJ to bring it up. He's got Michael Crane open, but the Blazers are going to call a play. 62-55.
All of a sudden, a comfortable lead has been made a little bit more nerve-wracking here at the complex.
Michael Crane, the baseline, or excuse me, free throw line jump shot doesn't go. And now here comes Kashif Russell. Russell now over to Nazir, his brother. They say they're twins, don't look too much alike to me. There's Russell back over to Nazir. Silva to pull the three. The big Brazilian can't hit, rebound to JJ. JJ brings it up court. JJ all the way to the lane, has it blocked, but he's fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line for two.
That's what Jones is able to do. You would look at it and think that it's not a very smart play as far as he's going up against 3 Argonauts. But drives in, he's not afraid, and gets a foul called against West Florida. Goes to the line and looking to punch home. A couple more points for VSU.
Blazers searching for some offense now that Ernest Scott is not in the game. The first free throw from Gerard Jones rolls on home. Favored bounce from the rim. 8:47, 63-58. Got a nice rim. Knows the rims here in the complex because they shoot free throws a lot in Coach Jim Yarborough's practice.
Ernest Scott checks back in the game after having such a stellar first half. Only 2 points for the senior in the second half.
JJ's second from the charity stripe is off the front rim, no good. Johnson brings down the rebound. And here's Shimwell. Shimwell over to Sullivan, who just hit that big three. Sullivan back to Shimwell. Now Johnson. Johnson over to Russell. Shimwell to, this is Vilsaint. Vilsaint to Shimwell to Russell on the far side wing. Russell cuts in. Vilsaint takes a block from Raji Leggett. Looked like his feet were set. Not quite sure about that one. Raji went down hard.
Interesting call by the official. Raji hit the floor trying to get the offensive charge called. May have been a little bit of acting. May have been give and take. Give the foul to the defense.
Vilsaint's first is nothing but net. 8:23, 63-56 now. His second from the line is off the back iron, no good. Rebound brought down by Kendrick Johnson. He goes with a follow-up slam. 63-58, lead cut to 5. The lowest the lead has been for Valdosta State in a long time.
That offensive rebound was far too easy for the Argonauts. No boxing out at all.
And now a strip from Kendrick. Here's Josh Sullivan. The big Mo is headed West Florida's way right now. Kendrick Johnson at the top. Back over to Sullivan. 4 guys on the perimeter looking to isolate Vilsaint. And a hold call on number 4, Raji Leggett. And he's having a tough last 2 minutes. That'll reset the shot clock.
Trying to make a little bit more of a defensive presence inside. John Rogers checks back into the game. Raji, as you said, having a little bit of a tough time on the inside right now. Checks out. Argonauts right now, 20-8 run.
Shimwell now to Russell. Russell calls the play, gives it to Sullivan. 7:47 remaining here in the second half of play. Shimwell now over to Kendrick Johnson. He's isolated with Ernest Scott on him. Johnson back over to Shimwell. Shimwell uses the screen. Matt sends it inside. Jack now out to Shimwell for 3. This one doesn't go. Kendrick Johnson goes flying. No foul called either way. Sent out to Michael Crane, now out to Ernest Scott as he's slapped by Kendrick Johnson. No foul called. The baby hook turnaround and the block from John Rogers is good. 65-58, big points there from Jack.
Nice touch there by Rogers.
Shimwell now over to Kendrick Johnson. You see why he got punched from Chad Jones. He's a scrappy player. Back out to Kendrick Johnson. Big time 3. It's going to be off to the left. Rebound to Vilsaint. Shot from Russell is once again short.
They're not shy to put up these 3-pointers, are they?
John Rogers with the rebound. No, they're definitely not throw up a lot of 3 balls, but it's just a few of those start falling. The game gets a lot closer than 7 points. Timeout Valdosta State. Or actually, I'm not quite sure what that was. They're going to make him take the inbounds pass.
It's interesting, actually. Not sure, there may have been, an official may have thought a timeout was called.
May have been an inadvertent whistle.
Exactly.
6:40, 65-58, Gerard Jones. Now over to Marcus Ginn inside, tried to force that pass to John Rogers. Blazers turn it over again, Matt Shimwell. heard his name a lot along with Kendrick Johnson. Shimwell doesn't get a lot of points glory, but he definitely is a physical defensive player. Marcus Gent reaching for that one on Russell. Sends it inside. Here's Johnson. Johnson traveled before a foul. Got some happy feet down low. 6-13, 65-58. Blazers lead by 7. Michael Crane for the inbounds pass. Gerard Jones bringing it up for Valdosta State. Has not come out in this second half of play. Now Ernest Scott yet to shoot in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Marcus Gent was open, but he didn't get the ball. Now back to Ernest. Michael Crane. Blazers relegated to the perimeter. 5:53, 14 on the shot clock. Here's Gent. Now Gerard Jones looking inside for Jack, couldn't find him. This is Michael Crane back over
Rogers
Ernest.
wants that ball inside.
Gerard Jones for 3, and he hits it. The knuckleball three-pointer, barely any rotation, but JJ says, I'll take it nonetheless. 68-58, Blazers restore the double-digit lead.
If you're going to give Gerard Jones that shot, he's going to hit it down. He's going to take it. He's going to hit it quite a few times. You got to respect him, even though a lot of teams do give him that three-point shot.
Russell looked like he stepped on the line. They're going to call a foul on Marcus Gent. Looked like he was giving equal pressure. Some acting by Kashif Russell, former Montevallo Falcon. 5:20, 68-58. Blazers with the lead. Russell to go to the free throw line.
For the Argonauts.
Russell's first one is off the back iron, no good.
Neither one of these teams are very good in free throw shooting. Both lower echelon of the Gulf South Conference as far as percentage.
Second attempt is no good. Rebound to John Rogers, nearly taken away. Actually, Ernest Scott will get credit for that one. Here's Gerard Jones. Just over 5 minutes left to go. 68-58, Blazer lead. Handed off to Michael Crane. Covered well by Sullivan. Uses the screen. Crane has it knocked away by Shimwell. Shimwell with a bump on Crane. No foul. Sends it back to Sullivan. Sullivan now back to Shimwell as the Argonauts slow it down. Bill Saint trying to get position inside on Ernest Scott. This is Russell. They'll lead pass into Bill Saint. He'll take the shot. John Rogers skied up. It would have been a goaltending call if he had touched it. Good touch hook shot from Bill Saint. 68-50 or 68-60.
One of the toughest shots to make, that little 3-foot baby shot from the baseline. You got to have extreme touch.
Rod Jones, now Michael Crane. Points getting increasingly harder for Valdosta State. Inside to John Rogers, help was given, rolls it home. He'll go to the line once again. Little Josh Sullivan came over to try to stop John Rogers. He was the backside help, and when you've got a man that's 6'9", like John Rogers, hailing from Hayhira, and Josh Sullivan, a 6'1" junior Cleveland State College community transfer, he's not going to win that battle too many times. Good position inside from John. Rogers now at the line. 4 minutes, 20 seconds, 70-60 Blazers, trying to extend the lead to 11. And Rogers does so. Silva to inbounds now to Russell. 71-60, Blazer lead. Shimwell brings it up fairly high-paced, takes a shot. There's going to be an offensive foul called. No, yeah, it looks like an offensive foul on Matt Shimwell. Pushed off as he was trying to get open. Tony Baker to take the inbounds pass. He's now in for Valdosta State. And you see a full court press from West Florida. Ernest Scott now over to Michael Crane. Back to Tony Baker. Baker looking to break the press. Sends it through the hands of Michael Crane. And now Shimwell bringing it up.
Would have been perfect execution in breaking that press if the ball didn't go through the hands of Michael Crane.
Shimwell now out to Silva and Havens. Back to Shimwell. Rolls it down to Silva. Silva looked like he got away with a walk and tried to dish it off to Russell, and his hands run sure as well. So 2 turnovers from both teams, not able to handle hot passes. Tony Baker forces a pass into JJ. 3 men on him. Gerard Jones out height behind Silva. Sent up lead pass to Michael Crane. Crane All the way across, Ernest Scott, the three, rolls out. Back iron, John Rogers all on his own, sends it over to nobody. It looked like he thought that Ben Mallett standing up on the bench might have been in play.
Saw Ernest Scott also in the corner of the eye, may have thought he was in the wrong place.
Shimwell the pump fake, tries to roll around, underneath the basket pass. Russell forced out of bounds, it's going Blazer ball. 3:17 remaining, 71-60.
Sloppy play right now from both teams, probably due because of West Florida's full court press.
3:17 remaining, 71-60 Blazers. Both teams have 16 fouls. Inbounds pass to Ernest, now to Gerard Jones. JJ trying to break two people, he does it so well. On your near side wing now. He'll call the play, take some time off the clock. 25 remaining on the shot clock, so plenty of time for the Valdosta State offense to set up. West Florida has picked up their defense in the second half. Blazers trying to get an open look, haven't had an easy bucket in a while. JJ guarded by Havens. He's trying to force him to his right hand, it looks like. 3, 2, 1. Tony will have to throw it up. It hits the rim, so no shot clock violation, but it's no good, and Shimwell gets the pass underneath by the rebound from Silva. Finds Vilsaint moving, using the baseline screen, got the basket to go. 71-62, full court press once again from the Argonauts. 2:23, trying to force turnovers by Valdosta State. Here's Michael Crane, jumps, stops, finds Ernest Scott, and the Blazers will slow it down. Taking some time off the clock with each possession. West Florida looks a little bit more desperate, more hungry than they were in the first half for sure, but there's 2 minutes remaining. Will it be enough? JJ to call the play, 14 now on the shot clock. Under 2 minutes to go in the game. John Rogers out to Michael Crane. Crane steps behind the three-point line. He's got 5, 4, now out to Tony Baker, 2. Charging call on Tony Baker, so for the second straight time, the Blazers take about 30 seconds off the clock, but don't get any points out of it.
Coach Hubbard's not happy at all with that. Yeah, I don't know if he's pretty furious with the officials, but also his team is a little bit up in arms right now as far as being able to beat this full court press, and then once they get into that half court offense, they can't get any easy shots.
Timeout called by West Florida, 1 minute and 46 ticks left on the clock. 71-62, 9-point lead. It's the 3-possession game, all 3-pointers right now for West Florida, and they've got the talent to hit those threes.
As we said, 3rd in the Gulf South Conference in 3-pointers made. Love to put them up. 3-pointers, easiest way to chip into the lead, but also, you know, with 1 minute 46, a lot of time to work the ball inside, try to get some easy buckets, maybe some fouls, stop the clock. They're in the bonus right now as far as being a 1-on-1 situation for West Florida.
Blazers don't want to lose this game. They want to keep the momentum going into next week's tournament. They'll be playing Thursday. The number 1 seed will play the number 4 or 5 seeds of either the West or the East. Not quite sure. The 4 and 5 seed of the West have West and East play each other.
That's right. So it is very possible that if Valdosta State wins this game, and if they do play the 4 or 5 team from the West, the winner of that game, they could see West Florida again on Thursday.
We could see West Florida again. Hopefully, I believe that West Georgia, our one conference loss and hated foe, are on the other side of the bracket, so it's very likely they may see them in the finals.
If everything goes to plan as far as the seedings and all that, it is possible to see those 2 teams. Valdosta State, the only team ranked nationally in the Eastern Division of the Gulf South Conference, 7th in the land, as we said. We have Henderson State, who's been playing very well from the West, though, also. Should be very good and very competitive Gulf South Conference tournament up in Tupelo.
Shimwell lets the ball roll because the time won't start until he touches it. Kendrick Johnson now out to Havens. Havens now, Josh Sullivan wide open for 3, coming off a screen, doesn't get it. The follow jam from Kendrick Johnson is just thunderous.
Rattled the backboard and the rim. I'm hoping the thing stays up.
He nearly brought down the house. 1 minute 35, so they only took 12 seconds off the clock, got 2 points out of it, 71-64, and we get into the mental aspect of the game.
There's another way that you can create points. Put up the 3 if you miss it. You come up with the offensive rebound. Thunderous dunk there by West Florida. A lot of time. As you said, not much time clicked off the clock. It's interesting that the 5 players that Coach Yogo has out there are all in double figures, which is pretty much a testament to his team. We've said that not a single player has been named the player of the week in the Gulf South Conference, but as a team, a number of players average 8 points or more. So it's almost like why single out a certain individual when the whole team is playing well. When you only have one loss in the Gulf South Conference and 2 losses overall, really you cannot argue about how good this VSU team is.
Inbounds pass to Tony Baker, breaks the press, 1:30 left. Blazers fouled by the Argonauts. They had a foul to give, so they'll be going to the single bonus now. 28, 71-64. Tony Baker, one of the better free throw shooters on the team, to step to the line. Only up 7. I still can't get over what an absolute unbelievable dunk that was from Kendrick Johnson. Very, very good ups, as you would say on the street.
Came in out of nowhere, grabbed the ball right off the rim, threw it home. You know what else is uncharacteristic about this game? Just look at the score itself, 71-64. Blazers throughout the year only allowing opponents to 50 points per game. And themselves, they don't rack up as many because of the style of play that they are, but they have put up 72 points in this ball game.
First one from Tony was money, and the second one is off the back iron, but a big rebound from Ernest Scott, and a touch foul from Kendrick Johnson.
This is kind of an interesting way to go about.
Looked like he was playing drums on Ernest Scott's solar plexus.
I'm trying to understand West Florida and their thinking and trying to just foul and go along with fouls. With 1:38 left to go, it is an 8-point game.
This will make it a 8-point game.
There's the logic as well. You know, you come out, you foul, no time on the clock.
Offensive foul on West Florida.
Actually,
what a mental mistake.
Shooting yourself in the foot there. You get lucky, you foul, you don't allow any points with no time on the clock. And you come down and you commit an offensive foul for West Florida.
1:20, 72-64. Blazers on top by 8. Tony Baker calls a timeout. Couldn't get anybody open.
Wisely, Gerard Jones covered by 2 guys. No opening. Mike Crane trying to come in, cut in to the corner, but West Florida guarded him closely.
Every Sunday night from 9 until midnight, join host Skip Gildersleeve on 90.9 FM. Journey to the past as he plays 30 years of college radio classics on Lest We Forget. Call 333-5661 for your request. And then also, of course, every Thursday at 8 and Friday at 10 on VSU-TV, you can catch all your Blazer and Valdosta State athletic updates on the Blazer Sports Report. Gotta love that show.
I love it just because of the single fact that it's where you get all your Blazer information for the athletics. And there's a number of athletics going on besides the basketball wrap-up that we have here. Your tennis is just starting up, and then you also have baseball and softball going into full swing.
No pun intended.
You know, I didn't even realize that I did that. Let's get back to this game. 72-64, 1:20 left. And we've seen the strategy in place by the Argonauts as far as wanting to foul VSU any chance that they could get to put them on the line. One more foul, though, puts VSU in the double bonus.
It's true. And, of course, for those of people that don't know what a double bonus is, it means that instead of the 1-and-1 situation where you shoot one and if you make it, you get another free throw. Double bonus, you get 2 free throws no matter what the foul is. Unless it's an offensive foul, I believe. I don't think you go to the line for that. John Rogers now back to Gerard Jones. JJ, an expert at breaking the press. There's no press here.
Swipe by the ball from Shenwell.
Shenwell really attacking now. Josh Sullivan manhandles Gerard Jones, and he'll go to the line, but he wasted away about 10 seconds. There's no way that wasn't more than 10 seconds. We had 1:20 left on the clock.
Right. I was looking up that as well. It took about 7 seconds to bring it up court, and then 3 more. So if you do the math, it did take about 10 seconds.
I don't know about that. JJ's first shot now in the double bonus. Nothing but nylon, 73-64. And this will make it a 4-possession game if he can make this next free throw, which is a huge, huge barrier to overcome in over a minute. But weirder things have been done in the game of basketball. JJ's second attempt. is no good. Ball bounces around, including off Vilsaint's head, but Russell comes down with it and now sends it out to Sullivan. Sullivan, a three-point extraordinaire. Now Vilsaint, guarded by John Rogers.
Play is taking a little too long to
Sullivan.
materialize.
JJ bites on the fake, rims out, rebound once again. These Argonauts attack the board. It'll be off the Argonauts to Valdosta State. 50 seconds remaining, 73-64, 9-point lead for Valdosta State. Sullivan could not get that basket to go. Not crucial though, they're still in the game. Raji Leggett checks in for Valdosta State. John Rogers goes out. The senior, Raji Leggett, transferred from College of Charleston, was out of basketball for a while, has become a great story and really a good part of this Blazer athletic program. JJ, once again manhandled by Sullivan. Offers the hand, JJ doesn't use it, gets up on his own. 40.6.
With that foul, I don't blame Jones for not accepting his hand to get up. Pretty much pushed down to the floor.
Jones to the line for Valdosta State.
JJ once again trying to give the Blazers a 10-point edge. 73-64. The first one is good.
Gerard Jones right now with his free throws is trying to silence the Argonauts with the crew that is on the floor for VSU. You want to foul Gerard Jones. The rest of the players, very good free throw shooters. That's one of the reasons why Raji Leggett came in the game for John Rogers. Over a 70% free throw shooter. Come in. Your only option to try to get the ball would be to foul Gerard Jones, and misses there, but then Ernest Scott comes up with a rebound.
Heads up play there by Ernest Scott, not to go back up with the points. Dribbles it out to the wing and now goes to the line for two free throws. 74-64, 38.7. The first free throw is good from Ernest Scott on senior day. He's had an unbelievable senior day with 16 points in the first half. He's now only added 3 points to that in the second, I believe, but still an unbelievable day. A three-point exhibition, if you will, in the first half from the Valdosta State Blazers. Chip Stroud
all the seniors
set to check in.
All the seniors setting to check in now for VSU.
Ernest's second one doesn't go, rims out and off the backboard, no good. Here's Sullivan. Sullivan using the screen from Kendrick Johnson, got away with another travel. Now Johnson, pump fake, he'll shoot the three. He's a senior and misses it. Tipped out by Ernest. And now here's Ernest Scott breaking down the sideline, but it's knocked away by the Argonauts and Josh Sullivan. Kendrick Johnson. Sullivan steps behind for three. It's good. 16 seconds. Timeout called by. Oh no, there's a Blazer
like Tony
down.
Baker. Or Marcus Gent,
I believe it's Marcus Gent. He's had knee problems in the past.
And as I mentioned before, you want to escape this game without having any major injuries going into the Gulf South Conference. Looks like he's not able to extend that right knee.
Knee injuries are not. And he's groaning too. This is not very good for the Valdosta State Blazers and the senior Marcus Gent. He has had knee problems in the past. He's a very important part of the Blazer team. We'll be back on VSU-TV and give you all the injury update that we get. 16 seconds left to go, 75-67, Blazers on top.
Valdosta State University, the pathway to success.
I love VSU because from the moment I came here, it's just been like a second home.
This place was just like home for me, and I love it. I'll always love it.
Just above the Florida border, VSU is a second home for students from all over Georgia, 47 states, and 58 countries. A quality university degree, a unique second home, a great location. Valdosta State University, your pathway to success.
Back here, 16 seconds. Marcus Gent has been helped off the court, hobbling off. Gerard Jones sends it up court to Ernest Scott. Ernest Scott will hold it 8-7-6. The Valdosta State Blazers will win senior day as Kashif Russell brings it down. He'll lay it up as time expires, 75-69, but this one ends on a little bit bittersweet day.
It's exactly what I was going to say. Hopefully everything turns out right for Marcus Gent. And good luck to the Blazers in Tupelo.
Nonetheless, the Blazers take this one 75-69 now, improved to 13-1 in the Gulf South Conference, 24-2 in the regular season. They'll be headed off to Tupelo next week Good luck, Blazers, for everybody involved in today's telecast. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you all, and good day.